Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. I said this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me. 'Cause we need a little controversy, 'cause it feels so empty without me.
So, what's everybody thankful for? No, I'm just joking. Let's have a nice dinner.
Can you pass the mic?
Good. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the following program. I'm your host, Joe Nierin, a.k.a. Good Lawgic. I hope you all have a very, very happy Thanksgiving. Whether those festivities include watching football, playing football, online shopping, meeting with family, gloating, whatever, or expressing your gratitude to God, which is something that we actually that was like a deal in my family. It was part of our family traditions when I was growing up. Whether you eat turkey, or as in my family, we evolved into duck, just because none of us really like turkey. Whatever it is that you do to celebrate this festive occasion, and it is a very festive occasion. And what's festive about it is the recognition that our ancestors had to give grace to God for all the blessings that we have in our lives, and recognize that we are ultimately in His hand, and that is something that is a value and a perspective which sadly is too sorely lacking, particularly in Western civilization today, not simply in America, but throughout Western civilization, which seems to be scurrying away from God as quickly as they possibly can. So, at the very least, we should all express our gratitude to God, as well as those around us who help enrich our lives, make our lives better, whether that's friends, family, or whomever, in whatever way that they do, large or small. So, with that, I'll say to each and every one of you, those of you watching, joining, participating, sharing, subscribing, hitting the like button, I want to express my gratitude to you for your participation here in this thing that we do. I definitely, the family atmosphere here and the welcoming spirit that you have, whether people become followers or diggers, hanging in the ghetto, whatever it is, wherever you're watching, I want to tell you that I genuinely appreciate the level of commitment that I get from you guys is off the charts and just remarkable and somewhat humbling at times. So I just want to say to you, thank you. I appreciate you. There's a lot of things that I wanted to cover today. I couldn't believe how many funny videos I had. So I thought I had like 2 or 3, and I've got like, I don't know, close to a dozen here lined up. I've set up my different tab windows. I have my tab windows. I collate everything into like one big box, and then when everything is said and done, what I do is I will set up my windows. So I'm going to share with you, I think this is a good thing to do, so you all get a little flavor for where I plan on bobbing and weaving during the course of the evening. All right, so this is what I'm going to just share this with you, so we're all on the same page here. I'm going to show you 3 windows here. It may look a little confusing from your vantage point. I'll try to explain to you what I got going on here so you can all know what we have to look forward to tonight. Okay, so in this window over here, I've got all my main topic windows. Ezra Levant, Obama, Trump getting the border closed, those little things. So we got one. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 windows open there. All right. This over here, this is my comedy window here, which I usually move the opening into the front there so I can find it easier. I got 2, 4, 6, 8. I don't even know. A dozen here. And then I got my side topics. These are things that I haven't even put anywhere in my description or anything. That sometimes they'll wend them with their way into the conversation. Sometimes I feel like I got a little added time. I'll go there. And I could really spend like 10, 15 minutes talking about any one of these, but it's hard to build a show titled Sharon Stone is the perfect sim, and her ranting in Europe is the perfect symbol of leftist crap ideology. It just doesn't. It's not a thumbnail. You can't do that. I can wend it into the show. I can work it in there a lot of different ways. And I've got like 5 different topics here like that, which I may or may not work in. So those end up being like sort of like the let's see how it goes. let's see how it's going tonight. And then I'll wend them in there. So now you basically have a general idea for how much I have of each, where we're going here tonight. You can understand why I say to you fairly confidently, this show is probably going to run a little bit longer than 2 hours. Hopefully not 4, but probably a little longer than 2. So if you tap out at a certain point, I get it. You come back tomorrow. You come back. If you fall asleep to the dulcet tones, I get that too. That's okay too. I definitely excuse you, and that's actually, from what I'm told, the primary part of the allure. It's why people keep coming back. So, with that, let's get to SoCal Patriot saying, "Today my birthday. My gift arrives January 20th. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, SoCal. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, SoCal. Happy birthday to you." Got turkey and smoker, 12 hours and lunchtime, 24-pound big boy this year. That's a big 24 pounds. I thought you have to do like 3 hours per pound. I guess you're doing 30 minutes per pound. Was it 3? That sounds more likely. Yeah, that makes more sense. 3 hours per pound sounds crazy. That sounds insane. 3 hours per pound. 30 minutes per pound sounds a lot more. Yeah, I'm obviously the turkey cooker. I don't like turkey, frankly. I'm not gonna kid you. I'll eat like the deli, like turkey breast, honey glazed, that sliced up on, but not like, I don't know why. Just to me, like the taste of just turkey roasted. Not for me. My dad is the only one. Great Lawgic loves all the food on Thanksgiving: turkey, pumpkin pie, cranberries, squash, everything about it. No, none of it. Cranberries I like. Pardon me. Yeah. That was always a silly tradition, but people liked it. It's harmless. My son's and my mother-in-law defrosted the turkey by leaving the car for. Oh God. Leaving the car for 3 days so to chill him out. So I went out and paid $75 for a fresh Empire turkey. Let me explain something to you. Let me tell you something. I once went shopping. And you know how like under the seats, like sometimes it's like you'll have like under one of those, what do they call the seats in the car? They're not like whatever. I had a bag from a shopping trip that apparently got sort of, while I was driving or whatever, I threw it into the car. It fell under the seat. Car never recovers from that. Your car will never recover from the stench. Is so after 3 days, 4 days, it's like, and then the thing is this, it's like at first you're like, what the hell is that? What is that smell? What is that? Oh my! It's as if the embodiment of vomit died in your car. Oh my God. Do not leave poultry in your car for 3 days. You seriously, like, it doesn't come out. The smell doesn't come out. K-Val, hit me with the 10. 10. Good luck with it out. The smell doesn't come out. God bless you, brother. Thank you so much for that. Who'd you bring me? We do have a goal tonight. Tonight's goal is 15 yellow super chats, yellow or higher. It could be orange. Could be pink. Maybe even a little red. Little bit. We hit 15 of those in 2 hours. How is it? What the heck? Doesn't make any sense. I don't know why it says now in 24 minutes from now. That doesn't make no sense. What the hell is that? Well, if we hit that in an hour, they're saying an hour and 24 minutes. In that case, we will have I'm going to be gifting 5 more of these memberships of these bad boys here and I'm going to be focusing on people who are not subs, who are not followers for one reason or another. No judgment, definitely no judgment, and try and and who've been here for like a while. So, names that I recognize is like, oh, that person been here a while. So, and show love to the people who've been hanging around here for years. So the following 10 people should offer their thanks, because it's good form, it's good style, it shows class, it shows grace, it shows healthy breeding, and it's actually more beneficial to you than to the recipient when you give gratitude and grace. The following 10 people should give that gratitude and grace to K-Vel for bringing them into the following, which is not at all a cult type of code. And that includes Coding Light, Bama Girl, Glenn Bush, Ed Wagner. Dun, 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 dun. That's not Wagner. That's definitely not. that's very much not Wagner. Lisa Faltersack, Gina D, Joel Hoffman, Lil Mom Fessel, Melody, and I like that Melody. That's very clever, Melody. I like that. And late late I ate. Oh, I ate. It's not late. It's I ate you. I ate your PS. I can't even say this. I can't pronounce it. That's what the problem is. I get all sorts of problems trying to pronounce words like that. Yeah. So is it autopsy? I don't even know what I'm saying, but you know who you are, and you were gifted, and you should say thank you. Say thank you. You should say, oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you to K-Vel for bringing you into the following. Welcome aboard. And so God bless you, K-Vel. Thanks. We had turkey in brine on Monday, but the fridge never used cards to defrost your turkey. Yeah, you see, that. Okay. That makes sense. It's God's life. Thank you for the little gratuity. I appreciate that. For the very kind gratuity. I appreciate that. We are having a new Thanksgiving tradition in our house, goat sacrifice. You see. All right. I feel you. Make sure if you want, look, goat sacrificing, as I've said many times, is not at all part of the following, but that doesn't mean that we don't understand these tendencies. So I just want to say, if you're going to engage in goat sacrifice, if that is your thing, if like that's you have like this thing, and I first and foremost know this, I get it. Second of all, there's a lot of steps in preparation you need to engage in prior to doing a healthy and proper goat sacrifice. Okay, it's not like it's just like, oh, I'm just going to go there and just like pull out this goat and throw it up here on an altar and everything's going to work hunky-dory for you. That's just not the way it operates. That's not the way things work in life, okay? If only it were that easy. If only that's all it took. It's like, all I need is a goat and an altar and maybe a knife and some kindling and we're good to go. No, there is a lot involved. There's a lot involved in a goat sacrifice. People, everyone thinks it's easy. You know, everyone thinks, oh, that's so easy. No, it's not. It's not. First of all, it's physically. It's you need to have a goat's not a tiny little thing. It's not like lifting up a baby. Now, some people go the easy route. Some people go the easy route. They're like, oh, I'm going to take a little tiny baby. Okay, but if you're doing a real, let's talk real here. A real goat sacrifice. I mean, you're doing a real one. There's a lot of work involved. So there's a lot. You got to slaughter it. You got to skin it. You got to draw the blood out. Obviously, where the blood's going to go, you sort of have to prepare for that. There's a lot more than you anticipate. A lot more. You think it's like, oh, yeah, you know what? If I get a couple of buckets, I should be good. No. Not that I know anything about this. Just to be clear. I mean, not that I know anything. Not that I know anything about goat sacrifice or anything of that nature. But, yeah. So then you got to figure out, ritualistically what you're going to be doing with the blood. How much blood are you collecting? How it's going to be properly, dispersed. And then obviously there's the hacking, there's the skinning, there's the hacking. There's work. You need a lot more firewood than you ever thought. You think it's going to be like, oh, it's a couple of logs. No, it takes a while. So those of you who are just willy-nilly thinking, oh, I'm just going to go do myself a goat sack. It's not so easy. Not that I really know very much about it. Or I have not that I've ever thought about it at all. I'm just speculating off the top of my head. Totally speculating. God bless you, Liz. Always a shot to you. It's been a while since I got a red one. It's been a while. I have a shot. Do I have a shot glass? Yeah. I don't have a shot glass. I would have raised one to you. I really don't have one. I'm looking everywhere. It's been a while since I've done the drinking. Ever since that whole DUI arrest. No, it's been a while. I'm in a really good mood tonight. I don't know. Some nights you're just chipper. I'm just feeling it. Tonight I'm feeling it. It's going to be a good show tonight. We're going to have a really good time tonight. I give thanks to Joe. Now I feel better than Joe. Oh, thank you. You do. It's not that you feel better, although you actually it's more beneficial to you than it is the recipient. And I mean that sincerely. It's not even close. Like whatever benefit is the recipient, it is at least 30 times as beneficial to the person who's giving the thanks. Because there's so many different ways. And when you give a thanks to someone, they usually won't even like remember it. Like they'll feel nice for like 20 seconds, but it actually has like in certain ways a lifetime impact on you. But I'm not going to go down that whole. I don't think I'm going to go through that whole explanation. I've done it on a couple of Thanksgivings now. I'm not going to do it again tonight. I don't know, maybe tomorrow. It'll depend on my mood tomorrow. Thank you, John. You're awesome. I appreciate that. Okay, Val. You don't have to thank me. I'm just fulfilling my obligations. Remember the cult that's not a cult monthly requirements. Hero or leader is my tie. And not the leader of the following. Just kidding. Enjoying. God bless you. Thank you so much. Joey V. Be thankful for life, family, even the good and the bad. May God bless you all. Count this for the goal. Viva la libertad. Caro afuera. Wendy C. My chef husband is working tomorrow serving the seniors at a fantastic facility in Maryland. May God bless. Richly bless me. Serves others on a special day. Amen. Who will be walking into Thanksgiving Day like Michael Walsh? Putting it down, liberal relatives. I think you mean Michael Knowles. I think that's what you meant, Michael Knowles. That was Michael Knowles there. Let's get back. That would be. That's what I should have done. I should have done public service announcement, like how to deal with dignity and class with liberals on this tomorrow, who you may be liberal relatives you don't frequently see tomorrow. I should have done that. Should have. But I'll tell you right now. There's a time to everything in life. There's a season. A time to love, time to hate, a time to kill, time to heal. Everything has its season. Time to cast away stones and time to gather stones together. Everything has its season. Solomon wrote that. And tomorrow, if you are a conservative and you're seeing a liberal friend for the first time or family member for the first time, I would tell you most assuredly, this is a time to gloat. There's really no other situation which is as gloatable. Really, I mean, seriously, this is like one of the most all-time best gloat moments of all time. Like literally, like in every way possible. This is like the king of all gloat days. You got the freaking White House, you got the Senate, you got the House of Representatives, you got Supreme Court, you got Trump shutting down the border from like basically from Mar-a-Lago. I mean, for crying out loud, he's done more to shut the border from Mar-a-Lago, as we're about to see here, than Biden or Kamala in the last 4 years. There's time to gloat. There's no other way to say it. There's no other way to say it. I wish there was another way to put it. So, yeah, it's time to gloat. I don't know. That's just my take. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. That's just my read. You can think otherwise. Now, how you gloat, there's different ways you can do it. I'm not saying, basically, it's a time to gloat. It really is. It's time to be happy. It's time to celebrate. Let's put it this way: a year from now, when he's in power, they're going to be pointing to this thing, that thing, this thing, that thing that he did wrong. Now they got nothing. They got nothing. Like you're never going to have a time to gloat like this ever again. Politically, you're just not. So, I don't know. That's just my read on it. When if you're ever gonna gloat, like seriously, ever, like tell me where it's gonna happen. And it's also, you're not gloating about your own personal success. You're gloating about the growth and success and health of America, and about people who just would appreciate it if they actually, weren't brainwashed. It's ugly to gloat about your own personal success. That's kind of petty. And look, I'll tell you right now, on Locals, I was talking about the concept of a mandate and how between you and me, there's no such thing as a mandate. I mean, it doesn't even mean anything. What the hell would a mandate mean? A mandate for a president. I mean, just putting aside the comedy of the word alone, I'm saying, what is the point to, how do you ever say there's a mandate? Like, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. But because you have different people voting for different reasons, how can you say there's a mandate that he should do A or B or C or D or E or F? You can't. And at what point does it become a mandate? But the left does find it particularly triggering. They're screaming. I see video after video, post after post. It's not a mandate, not a mandate. He didn't win the popular vote. He won the popular vote. He won the plurality. And they get very triggered about it. As I explain in Locals, I put a little thing explaining why they get so triggered by it. But once I started going down that road, I realized to myself this. I said to myself, hey, look, Joe, think about this. Like, you sort of like, almost like as a troll, I was like trying to come up like different reasons that this really is a mandate. It really is a mandate. Oh my gosh. And I urge you that you should be posting just as much as you can mandate, just because this bothers them because the only thing they have left now that they lost all political power, they have no political power. All they have is the moral justification that they're right and they're being oppressed. But they have a hard time doing that because they need to have some sort of justification. And if it really is a mandate, that means he has a license to do whatever it is that he's doing. And they're much less, they can only complain after the fact. So that's why the notion of there being a mandate is a big thing in their hearts and minds, because in their hearts and minds, feelings about justification for being for screaming their issue is far more important than facts or what's going to help people or what doesn't help people. No, it's just how I feel. And they want to feel a moral superiority, and they lose that moral superiority if they believe that, hey, America really, really wants this and told Trump to do this. So that's why stripping them of that by saying, well, there's a mandate for him to do this. It's very triggering. It's very triggering. So yeah, I have been engaging in it. And then once you start walking down the road, this is how it works. Even though I'm admitting there's no such thing as a mandate. It doesn't make any sense. It's the stupidest thing in the world. We're literally stupid. It's ridiculous. But when I saw how they were screaming, there's no mandate. There's no mandate. There's nothing. No mandate. When I see that, I'm like, oh, okay. I gotta lean in on this one now. And then you start coming up with justifications to say, no, there really is a mandate. And one of the things that happened was, they keep talking about how he didn't win the popular vote because if you add Kamala plus the independents and other votes, he didn't reach 50%, as if anyone cares other than them. Oh my God. Who cares? Who cares? So that made me start thinking, okay, how can I come up with some sort of stupid reason as to why this actually would be a mandate? And then I realized he won 31 out of 50 states. That's almost 2/3 of the country. 31 out of 50 states. And it's the United States of America, not the United People of America. And then I started thinking, so it's like, yeah, you should be trying. The goal of each of them is to win this state, that state, this state, that state. And he did it 31 out of 50 times, almost 2/3. That's the country. That's a mandate. So then it starts becoming embedded in my own head. You start thinking, when you go down this road, and you can sort of appreciate the left, that when they're always selling these ridiculous perspectives, at a certain point you start believing the ridiculously of your own farts. So they actually really start buying this stuff, and here I was basically being like, oh no, look, it was an election for the United to become president of the United People of America or the United States of America. Well, for the United States of America, it's 2/3 votes. Practically, that sounds like a mandate to me. I don't know. Anyway, so I do urge you to use that term because, and this is why you should be gloating. This is why you should be saying mandate. It's not to be cruel. No, it's because this ideology, the leftist woke ideology, is genuinely rooted in evil. And I know the people who you know. That's not to say the people you know and you like and you care about that they're evil. No, they're not evil. I mean, look, one or two of them really might be psycho crazy killers. I don't know your freaking relatives. But the overwhelming majority are not evil. But their minds have been poisoned by evil. Really poisoned by evil. Really, really, really poisoned by an evil, warped, twisted, harmful, self-destructive, dangerous to themselves and to others philosophy that needs to be exposed and eradicated as being utter trash and terrible. So yeah, that's why I say, you know what? Gloat, and make them feel awful that they're actually embracing idiocy, self-destructive behavior, harmful to the people they're trying to help type of behavior. It's a good thing. Just shame it out of them wherever possible. So yeah, gloat, do it. Oh, and goat is nasty. It's one of the four-legged animals I can't stand the taste of. I don't know if I've ever had goat. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks, James. Leader Joe, please publish the sacrifice. No, I said we don't do sacrifices. I was merely speculating. It was just random thought. I was just trying to envision if you were doing the whole goat sacrifice thing, how would that go? How would that go? Sorry, Michael Knowles laying down smack on T-Day. I opened the show with that. You missed. I thought you saw the opening. No, I literally my opening for the show tonight was Michael Knowles doing that. A time to grow and show. Wait, what? What? Wait, it's a family show. It's time to gloat. Do not let them take away your happiness. Amen. Or instead, red of gloat. We could just be humble winner and be thankful the right man won and be better and not rub it in and show them we're better. Nah, I understand this. I understand this. I mean, I respectfully look. I'm telling you one school of thought, and I respect this school of thought. And frankly, in practice, I'm much more likely to do this than to do the actual gloating type of thing. To be fair and to be real with you, I'm simply saying, if there is a time to gloat, is either never a time to gloat, or this is it. Would you agree with me on that? That there's either never time to gloat because it's just, kind of a base or petty type of thing, which I can hear that argument. I can hear that as being an evolved argument, that there's never a time to gloat. Okay. But if there is a time to gloat, is this not really the ideal time right here and now? More than when your team wins the Super Bowl and gloating over some other opponent, some other fan of another team. I mean, really, because this is actually benefiting society as opposed to something that, you look back and be like, wait, which year was that? No, this is something you remember forever. Solomon, I think you meant the birds. Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Solomon. It's the sort of thing I thought about making a joke that it was like, I think I was going to make a joke like, that's what like Gandhi said, but no, it was actually is Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Check it out. He won 48 states, Joe. Only 2 states that went to common were signatories to the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. Biggest win ever. That's what I like. That's what I like. Hold on 1 second. I just need to take care of something. And I hadn't thought about the whole 48 state things. I think there's a great point, Derna. I hadn't thought about it, although technically they said the National Compact thing will only kick in. After they have enough there. So yeah. Anyhow, I'm so happy tonight before seeing all my liberal family tomorrow. Let them eat my juicy smoked turkey while I gloat. There you go. Expose them leftists to good logic philosophy. That's a healthy thing. Give them a hard dose of good logic. Only one lib coming to my house tomorrow. Praise God. All right. And yes, but the Birds version has a better beat. Yeah, much better beat. Not going to get you. It's much easier. It's much easier. The Birds version. Why don't I see my Rumble? Where's my ghetto? I don't know. If I missed a rant, I don't see any rants. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. If there were. I don't know that there were. I'm not assuming. I'm just afraid that I might have missed. If I did, and when you all can sort of throw it up there in the pin it in the chat or something, that'd be awesome. Awesome. All right. So I was telling you about how they basically have no power, and this is a time to gloat. And I understand the classy route. Like I said, I definitely understand the classy route that was being advocated here. There's and I will 100% agree with you that the mature, classy route is far more elegant and styled and reflective of a more evolved personality. 100%. 100%. I'm simply saying, if there's ever a time to gloat, I think this is it. I think this is it. It's much. We see people gloating when they score a touchdown, for crying out loud, doing dancing when they're trailing by like 14 points. It's like, if that's where you're gloating, this is a gloat moment. You know, just saying. Dylan based all along the Watchtower on Isaiah 21. I don't see, but that no one remembers that song nearly as much. The boss did get a mandate. We just have a paper thin Congress. California needs to go into the ocean. Yeah, I know. Oh, sorry. There's no sarcasm font. I roll. Oh. Okay. Sorry. I apologize. I was flashing my knowledge of my knowledge of ancient of Torah. So what we got? So it's telling you about how it's time to gloat. And one person who's trying to stand in the way of that is former President Barack Obama. Not too happy about that notion. All of a sudden, coming out here, and this is what he's given us. Oh, sorry, I should share this. I've been spending a lot of time thinking about how to build rules and habits and allow us to disagree deeply while still being able to live together. On December 5th, I'll talk more about this idea called pluralism at our 3rd annual Obama Foundation Democracy Forum. And here he is, promoting pluralism. And different backgrounds connect. Look how thoughtful and reflective and attentive he looks. Because whoever's speaking is clearly going to be having a massive influence on his mindset. You know, whichever kid is talking, some kid influencer, he's sitting there trying to absorb their thoughts and feelings that, you know, he can learn from them rather than figure out how to twist their minds. To connect, collaborate, and create community.
I've been spending a lot of time thinking about how we rebuild a conversation in America in particular, but globally.
What?
Where
Wait, what?
Folks are able...
What? Hold on. Globally? Wait, this is just part of your globalist agenda? What? And we need to be having conversations with folks in Italy? Is that what we got to be doing right now? Is that where the real strife is? Is that what it is? So,
where folks are able to disagree without hating each other. Pluralism is a fancy word for saying when you've got a bunch of people who come from different backgrounds and have different political interests, how do we build a bunch of different entry points for people to be in conversations with each other?
Okay, so finish your thought.
How do you organize yourself so that you can sort out those differences, find some common ground that leads then to the possibility of common action?
This mofo, this guy, unbelievable. So the reaction to this You stage a coup against Donald Trump and then your allies try to assassinate him. Have some self-awareness. Joe Biden said the quiet part aloud. They want to lock Trump up and throw away the key. Dak didn't want that.
I said this 5 years ago, you'd lock me up. We got to lock him up.
So lock up your political opponent.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to have conversation. We need to have now's the time for conversation. That was the thought I had. I'm like, okay, so now that you don't have the White House, the Senate, House of Representatives, SCOTUS, now that you have basically all your biggest hope is that that you don't lose 7 out of 47 senators on any particular bill. That is your hope. That is your last hope. That's it. To stop anything from the Republicans from basically implementing any policy that they want. Any policy. Any policy that they can convince seven Democrat senators to go along with. Could be passed for the next 2 years. And now you're coming along and saying we need to start having conversations more. It's very important. It's very, very important. Very, very important. And this, what Gunther Eagleman is saying, is correct. He's the most divisive president in history. It's not even close. You sought to divide us, Barack. That was your goal. This is from the Foo Bunny. That was your goal when you came into office because you knew it was easier to rule divided people. Clever marketing slogans merged. Democrats created you. Luckily, Americans figured it out, and you no longer have the pull you once did. Amen. Sandy, fine people hoax. The lie you spoke right up to election. Keep your blame of pluralism. We're not interested. Catcher just showing electoral map. You called Trump and his supporters fascist, racist, bigoted Nazis for 8 years. Sit this one out. Yeah. And here's Joe Rogan weighing in on it. On Obama, on what people think of Obama, what he thinks of Obama now.
We did.
And that's the point. I mean, this shyster is so full of hot garbage. He is the source of division in America. So now he's coming along to try fixing it. He's coming along like we need to have conversations now. What now? This is the thought I had. So you create all this division. You create all this hate. You created a situation where there are millions of Americans who are convinced that tens of millions of Americans are thoroughly racist, sexist, misogynistic, evil, fascist Nazis. You created this more than any other person on the planet and arguably in history, in American history. Perhaps I rank him number one as the most divisive individual in American history. It's not, and there's a lot of evidence. I'm not going to spend the whole show talking about how terrible he is. But I actually earlier this week was looking up quotes and things he said where he was so clever and artful with his words, and he is. I don't mean that facetiously at all. He's very artful. He's a surgeon with a scalpel with his words, because he doesn't say until recently, until this election cycle, he wouldn't say you're a racist. He wouldn't do that. Now it's like when the desperation was showing, the makeup was coming off of his language, even where he started becoming much more overt about it because he felt the time pressure to get his message through that normally he likes seeding and planting and watering and fertilizing this notion that the other side is evil and allows that to sprout over time. And now he didn't have the time to do it. So the veneer came off and he was far more overt in calling out the brothers for failing to properly support Kamala Harris and calling out their misogyny. But this divisive, terrible, terrible, thoroughly evil human being, thoroughly evil for what he has done to America, irreparable harm that he has caused you personally, whether you know it or not, that he has caused you personally. And I'm saying that to you as an American, and frankly to the world, because a divided America is not good for the world. The harm he has caused you personally, that you likely cannot fully appreciate, I cannot fully appreciate, just because the level of division in this country, terrible policies, the impact it's had on society overall. This man is the scourge of society. Much more than Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi is a political animal. He was a messianic figure who has forever warped the minds of millions of people in ways no other human had a capacity to do. This guy right here. And he's coming along like, it's time for, let me introduce you to the term pluralism. It's when folks have a chance to, who might, disagree with each other, have a chance to state their views and hear each other out without hating each other. Oh, really? Really? Why is there this hate? There wasn't this hate when you were elected in 2008. No, there was no level of hate at all. People had fears that you were a crazy socialist because, well, you were, but it wasn't like this hate. Do I need to pull up the quotes? I was thinking about doing a whole thread about it. I never got to it. About doing a whole of quote after quote of things he said, which were designed to basically make you feel as if some people there are uncomfortable with the idea of having a black president. When you say some people in that way, and he's asked about obstructionism to his agenda, and he's like, well, to be fair, there are some people out there who are uncomfortable with, a black president. Is he labeling you specifically? Is he calling any individual out? No. Is it technically true? Yes. That's what makes it so insidious. That's what makes it so evil, because it is technically true, because obviously there are some racists out there. No one's denying that. But the question is that number of people out there, are we talking about 300 people or 3,000? Or maybe, 30,000, but much less than like 1% of the country. Far, far, far less than 5% of the country. But when you say it like that, like, well, look, you have to face facts. Some people out there are not comfortable with there being a black president. You leave it out there with this just some people. To his listeners, that's the people who are opposing him. That the first assumption we should have about them is that they just don't like having a black president. So he would never say, oh, yeah, Republicans are racist. He would just make a true statement, a factually true statement, that in a context that he's dropping it would have the effect on millions of people who they think, and they follow him and love him and, laud him as being like, wow, this amazing, unifying, seriously, like practically a messianic figure. Whatever level of love Trump has gotten, he got at least that during the height of his popularity. And he's making statements like that. So basically, then you think to yourself, well, why? I'm a believer. If you're an Obama fan, you're like, I'm a believer. Why are they not a believer? Oh, well, there are some people who are uncomfortable with there being a black president. They're just not used to it. They're old school. They're very, they're old fogies. They come from the 1950s. They still have their racist tendencies. Maybe they don't mean to be racist, but deep in their hearts, they are. That's just who they are as people, because they're white, or because they're white males, or because they feel threatened, or because they're intimidated, or because they just they want to assert control and power, or they're part of a patriarchy. And all these different awful, terrible things, which had nothing at all to do with the opposition that he's facing, and was technically true about a very tiny portion, but leading his tens of millions of followers, if not much more, hundreds of millions of followers across the world, into thinking that you are a racist without ever saying you are a racist. Just pointing out the true statement that some people are not comfortable with there being a black president. And he did this over and over again in interviews, laced into speeches. That was the most overt example I found where he made that statement in, I think, a Time interview. Might not have been in Time. I don't think it was Time. I can find it. But sometimes in less overt ways. Some folks are not comfortable with, I'm talking about illegal immigration. Some folks are just not comfortable with there being like, when he made the comment, I don't look like the person on Face of Money. I don't look like a person on the $5 bill. So it's like the implication is if you're not voting for me, it's like I get it. I don't look like an old white man. So he created this division, which did not exist. By the time 2008 rolled around, there was not this hatred. There was not this animosity. And this guy, for his own political agenda, his own political purposes, first to get elected and then to maintain that control and keep us divided, kept seeding it and watering and fertilizing it. Now the mask comes off because during the last 107 days, you have 107 days to get Kamala from being someone who's the most hated politician, most hated vice president in American history into being elected into the White House. So it's like he needs to get crazy levels of support, particularly from the black community. And he's like, look, he's trying to basically say, recognize that you're kind of being misogynistic here. You might not be comfortable with having a woman leader. That nonsense. So that's when I see this whole stupid pitch he's putting out here. I'm like, oh, you lost. That's why you're doing this. That's the first thought I had. In fact, that's what I was going to talk about this. That's the thought I had, even starting this show. It's only now when I was watching it that he said, but I noticed that he throws in there in that classic artful way, because this guy is artful beyond belief, that when he says that in America in particular, but globally, why do we need to have a global conversation? Is it not enough for us to try to get along in America? No, this is a matter of basically getting us to recognize the values and importance and significance of the perspectives of the entire Western civilization. Well, why would he be doing that 6 months ago? Because apparently this has been an ongoing thing. He didn't think he was going to lose the election 6 months ago. They thought they were going to, win easily, or fairly confident. Now, I think this globally thing is we need to start mirroring the woke EU. Because basically America is the basest country on the earth. And it's like the more global American conversation is, the more open and accepting we are to embracing the values of the other Western societies and reaching compromise and recognition. And hey, in France, this is how they run an Olympics. And let's recognize, and basically trying to make us more of a globalized perspective, mindset, the global village that Hillary was saying. That's what this is all about. This was about globalism. Now it's a desperate reach of like, hey, it's important for you to have conversations with us because that's what's healthy for America. That's what we need now. I know I was telling everyone like a month ago that this guy is going to destroy the country, and he's a fascist, and he's basically we haven't done DNA tests, but fairly certain that he's a direct descendant of Adolf. Sure, we heard all that, but now you all got to come together. So I thought this was just a desperate reach, and it is at this point. It's a desperate reach of like, please give me relevance, please give me and the rest of my friends here on the left. Please pretend we have significance and importance and something of value to benefit America with our contributions of our thought. Please recognize the value of our ideology. That's what he's saying. Have a healthy conversation with us, even though we have no political power right now. So it started as a whole globalist type of perspective of let's push America further and further to the left and left until you can't even like find us. They're like, weren't they here? No, they just went off to the left. No one knows where they are anymore. I think that was probably the genesis. And at this point, he's sort of like wheeling that out. He's wheeling that out of the garage. He's pulling that out. He's like, all right, give us some relevance because, we got to have global conversation and pluralism. That's what we need now. And my response, as not my novel response, because you saw that thread there, response of America and people who actually care about American patriots is, we don't need you. You're done. We've been running the country for 12 out of the last 16 years. We're done with you. Your disastrous, divisive, self-destructive policies and your divisive language, everything about you. Afuera. So There you go. That's Obama. But I am thinking about checking out his December 5th thing. December 5th. What's that, a week from today? Democracy Forum. I'm kind of curious if I should check this. Let's check this out, see what kind of poisoning. Oh, I have to donate. Is that what I have to do? That's not happening. Register. Get the latest. They're not going to charge for this, are they? Ryan Reynolds. This breaks my heart. Hollywood. I don't know who Red is over here. I don't know who this guy is. Ryan Reynolds. Afuera. Keep your stupid Deadpool. John Mitt is funny. His humor resonates with me fairly well. Afuera. Use your popularity to poison America. Yes. See, I like this. That's the smart way to go. Classy after January 20th. Classy is nowhere near as fun. It's true. I already met gold tonight, fastest ever. Nice. As much hell the left has been putting us through the last 8 years, we have earned the right to gloat. Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. Joe met his goal in the chat. Woohoo! I need to give out 5 memberships. Obama, whose cook died under circumstances questionable, we now think you can solve the issues. He sent this cook out to like hang out with Hillary. Matt Skinner gifting 5. Good Lawgic memberships. 5, count them, 5. Why don't I need to find this thing here? Who do you bring on in here? Gifted courtesy of Matt Skinner. Captain Matt. What we got? Am I going to find it? Following 5 people were gifted memberships courtesy of Captain Matt Skinner. Please tell me it's here. No, that's not there. Try that again. One more time. One more time. Here it is. Paul Fairfield, Montana, Bow Lady, Roy Lunzinger, Catania, Nana, and Who Drank My Beer. All of them gifted memberships courtesy of the following program. Memberships to the following courtesy of Captain Matt Skinner. God bless you, Matt. Those of you who are new to the following may not realize this, but you should be aware that the following is not at all a cult. In no way, shape, or form is the following gonna be motivating you to engage in goat sacrifices. Think about all the blood, not to mention the smoke. A lot of smoke. Now, it smells pretty good, but just saying, because it's not at all a cult type of cult. You got to figure out what you're doing with the kidneys and the innards also, because that stuff that can get kind of nasty. Don't forget his slip leading to Beergate in the garden to cover his misspeak of cops arresting black professor at his own home. I don't remember that. I actually was going to cover that was one time that he I don't know what Beergate is. I don't remember what that is. But I know that one of the quotes I had from him, where he basically said something like that the cops acted stupidly because they arrested someone who was trying to break into a house. They didn't first arrest him. They only arrested him when he became belligerent and started yelling at them. But the guy was trying to break into his house. And he's like, oh, they only arrested him because he was a black man going into a rich house. It's like he's trying to break in. Like he said the cops acted stupid. Like, unbelievable. Hi, Joe. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Do Jews do Thanksgiving? It's not culturally a thing. It's sort of like many holidays that folks celebrate that you might not realize are religious are actually religious, and Jews will, like, on principle, not celebrate that. So, for example, I mean, obviously religious ones, are Christmas and Easter. Halloween is a religious holiday also. It's celebrating All Hallows Eve and All Saints Day. So those are ones that on principle we wouldn't celebrate. Thanksgiving, the other American holidays, so Jews will celebrate. Although it depends culturally, depending on what type of Jew. Even amongst the Orthodox community, that some will celebrate, others are less likely to. So, good question though. Philip Coggins, under Obama's first deployment, ROE, so messed up. Return investment so messed up we couldn't return fire unless receiving. ROE, is that return? No, sorry. ROE so messed up. Now you're displaying my military ignorance. I said return. It's ROI, is return investment. Such a Jew thing to say. See the live. I know some of the rules of engagement. So messed up we couldn't return fire unless receiving accurate incoming fire. Unbelievable. Unless receiving accurate incoming fire. Rules of engagement where we couldn't return fire unless receiving accurate incoming fire, as in people dying. Second deployment, I have no vision of winning against ISIS in Syria. Yeah, that's your president. That's your commander-in-chief. That's your commander-in-chief right there. Unbelievable. Such a disaster. And still to this day, hailed as like, oh, just an amazing president. Like the left loves him. Literally, we're singing sonnets to him on his way out the door. SNL, like, was that blonde weird woman who actually had moments of being somewhat funny. What was her name? Singing like a love song to him about like how they're gonna miss him when he like. This is back in when he was transitioning. When he was transitioning out. Terrible president. Oh my God. They renamed the school in New Jersey I used to work for after him before he even left office. Talk about gloat. So there you go. Yeah. Ryan Reynolds just needs to be canceled hard enough and he will no longer be on the left. That's probably true. Bella Stella, hit me with 10. 10 good Lawgic memberships. The following people should give gratitude and thanks because it is Thanksgiving. Don't forget that. It's Thanksgiving right now on the East Coast. Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Following 10 people were gifted memberships courtesy of... Wait. Did I get the wrong ones before? I can't mounts. Oh, he just given a... I just got confused. I know what happened. I got confused. Matt confused me. Following 10 people gifted courtesy of Bella Stella. Mikey 2 times. Let's go Gadsden. Wait, is that? Celed? Celedh? C-E-L-E-D-H. I don't know. Vanessa Stuller. Alina. Vitakasu. Wheezy 2.0. Clifford Barnes. Jobu. All of them brought into the following. Who else? I must have missed something. It was Jobu. I got Jobu. That's 1, 2, 3. Alina, 4. It looks like I see 7 here. I don't know what happened. If you were gifted courtesy of Queen of Recruitment, Bella Stella, I urge you to please give her your gratitude. as always, we thank you for your support. Please also bear in mind, you might think that because I'm sitting here in this whole cool MAGA sweatshirt, dark MAGA sweatshirt, you might think to yourself, oh my gosh, this guy's talking the whole freaking time. And, I'm new here. What's now I'm a follower? What, he thinks I'm his follower? He thinks I'm going to just be... No, I'm not the leader of the following. Following is just a very healthy organization. A healthy organization that's dedicated towards community. Well, personal growth. And personal growth comes through community and unity and leadership training skills. So with that, I welcome you to the following. Please express your gratitude to Bella Stella. Also, 5 people brought in courtesy of Matt Skinner. You know what? This was the second pair of 5, so that maybe one of those. 2 ram's horn equal a war horn. 2 chauffeurs equal a war horn. It's kind of funny in ways I can't explain. The following people brought in D. Marie, Uncapped Turtle, Sane Maverick, Lynn Britton, and Roy Adams. All you, welcome to the following. And when I say it's not at all a type of cult, that's only because there's no Kool-Aid, no spaceships, no self-harm, no harming others, no stabbing yourself with the jabby jab, no dancing around bonfires in the middle of a forest while shucking over your clothing to the beat of a tom-tom, no sticking your head through a door and screaming, "Here's Johnny," no throwing virgins into volcanoes. In no way, shape, or form is this a cult type of cult. Just stay and you'll be happy. Stay and learn how to be happy. Learn how to be happy. Find your real happiness with your inner self and your inner sense of peace and calm. Namaste. All right. Now that lawfare is finally over and once the inauguration happens, any chance we can finally get the Phoenix right? He's attorney, please. Do you really think I'll like it, Malcolm? Malcolm here. Malcolm McKee has been asking me to play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney for a while now. Probably for at least 18 months, if not twice as long as that. It's more likely, that's for sure. Send me a link of what I need to do. Obama's trying to redefine the Dems because of the infighting. Yes, that's part of it for sure. He's trying to make them like feel better. Like, okay, let's get a direction here. We need direction, and he's arguably still the leader of the Democrats. Obama's still yet fork-tongued manifested Ferguson. Yes. And he could have remedied that if he was so inclined. That's when it became obvious that this was purposeful. To anyone who had any questions left over, when he allowed Ferguson to burn instead of going in there and settling that in 3 seconds, that's when that was the tell that he was not simply okay with letting it burn, but that he was the one who was lighting the match. Do you like to cook, Joe? I'm a designer, art school, studio, yada, yada. I want to make you something, need to know. You're probably not going to be able to make something that I'll be able to eat, realistically. If you're art school, you can't. So I'm saying is no one should ever send me food unless it's like, authorized being kosher and sealed. Because I'll just end up giving it away to someone who's, instead of eating it myself. So, and I definitely appreciate any type of gifts that people send me. Very, very much. I think it's very thoughtful. Sort of. I was chastised by Ron Coleman that less about cooking, I'll like to make something novel and present it in a way that's elegant. And I'll invest a lot of time into doing it. But it's sort of like the sort of thing that I will do like once a week, and would be very bothered if I do it more. And like if so, it's like I'm either gonna like jump in with both feet and do it, and like I'll invest like an hour into like making myself like a guacamole type of thing, where I'll like, you know, chop up the avocados and throw in all the ingredients there, and I'll make myself a panini, which would be delicious. And it'll take me like 45 minutes to just do all the preparation. I do a tuna steak, raw tuna steak platter thing, which will take me 45 minutes to season it just right and lay out this very elegant platter, which will take me 5 minutes to eat. And I'll sort of enjoy the process of that. But if I had to do that more than like once or twice a week, I would get very aggravated. And if I'm not doing it, I'd rather eat a bowl of cereal every day than have to then go through the small work of scrambling eggs for myself. That's just being real with you. How do you shut down the border when Biden's still in office? We're getting there. I'm almost there. Obama called the cops and professor to get together with him, and he shared beers in the White House garden to show community after his stupid comment. Did he really? What a douchebag. What a douchebag. No spaceships, I'm out. Yeah, well, sorry. Can you be our comment? No. I'm just a host. N-Dog gifting. Look at this. N-Dog. So this, you might not know this. N-Dog is a moderator over in the ghetto. She is. Gifting 10. Count them. 10 Good Logic memberships. The memberships are raining in tonight. Who'd you bring in here? Who'd you bring on in here? Who'd you bring on in here? Patty P, Patty B. You got both Patties. Good job, N-Dog. Look at that. She's like, no, I don't want just one Patty. No, I got Patty P. I got Patty B. She got Relaxed Sweater 2458 Chicken Shite. Fuller of it. Donkey Primo Avatar. Christine D. Amy and April Betts. All of them brought into the following. Welcome, new followers. And please express your gratitude to Nancy for her amazing gift to you. And she still says no. Rumble's better than YouTube. That is her. That's why I was surprised to see you here. But good to see you. Good to see you as always. It's a game where you're a defense attorney getting played. People offer phony murder charges. Justice must be served, Joe. Download on the Steam platform. Last time I tried Steam, I had all sorts of problems. I don't know. They wanted this ID and that ID, and they're like, you're already registered. Do you not remember it? And they want to send it to an email that I don't have anymore. And yeah, no beaks. I don't know what that means. Seriously, if you want to send Joe a kosher food gift, Oh Nuts is the easy option. They have 3 kosher certifications, not sponsored. Love their stuff. I'm not a big nut person, so I agree with what Ann is saying. That is kosher. Yeah. No, actually, I far prefer cakes, KAYX.com, which their stuff's kosher. KAYX.com. Their stuff is kosher, and they're amazing. They're delicious. Oh, my God. They're crazy. I went through a whole thing here where I was talking about their cheesecake. They had this vanilla cheesecake thing, which was just... can't even tell you how amazing it is. All right. But it's not even real. It's not even dairy, which I don't know how they do it, but sure is going to kill you way faster than the eggs, possibly. All right. You want me to tell you how he saved the country? How he shut down the border? Am I in the wrong one? Oh, here it is. Well, all this week, we've been talking about the back and forth with Trump and his tariffs. In case you missed a moment or two on this show here. First and foremost, shame on you. You got some homework to do over the holiday weekend. But it started a couple days ago where Trump said, look, if we have a border crisis at the southern and northern borders of illegal aliens and fentanyl pouring into our country, and unless Canada and Mexico clamp it down, I'm hitting them with a 25% tariff. People on the left are having a field day with this. I'm seeing stuff like, good, enjoy your higher priced guacamole, MAGA. It's like, what the hell does that mean? So, like, there's no cost associated with the fentanyl and the illegal aliens. They were telling us it's going to cost us, I don't know, $10 billion. It was going to cost us like $1 trillion to remove all the illegal aliens. And you're telling me that the higher priced avocados is what my concern should be? And instead of costing $1.50 for an avocado, it'll cost me $2 for an avocado. That's what I should be weeping for. Yeah, and the idea was to not have to motivate them to act before he comes into office so that he never has to hit them with the tariff. Well, the responses from Mexico, and specifically El Presidente, I assume that's a gender neutral word in Spanish, although I don't know that to be the case. From Claudia Sheinbaum came out and basically wrote a very stern letter back to Trump saying this is a problem that we've been working on, have done a lot to fix, and a large part of the problem is because of the Biden administration's policies of bringing people in, and there's really very little we can do about that. And it's much healthier for us to work together because if you tariff us, we're going to tariff you back, which I commented that even though she's supposedly a lefty, it was a very effective response. I was impressed. It was a very measured, well-reasoned, healthy response. Trudeau went on camera and started crying about saying, we had a good call with Trump and we're hopeful that it's all going to be resolved. Well, Mexico today comes out, and President Trump come out, and they're like, we got a deal. This guy's still in Mar-a-Lago. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said she had an excellent conversation with President-elect Trump and his threats of imposing tariffs. She also revealed that Mexico would stop the mass migrant caravans from reaching the northern border. What in the heck is going on here? Actually, we should go first to Donald Trump saying Mexico just had a wonderful conversation with the new president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo. She has agreed to stop migration through Mexico and into the United States, effectively closing our southern border. We also talked about what can be done to stop the massive drug flow into the United States and also U.S. consumption of these drugs. It was a very productive conversation. This is his take on it. Trump's also follow up with Mexico will stop people from going to our southern border effective immediately. This will go a long way towards stopping the illegal invasion of the USA. Thank you. Look at that. Look at that. Effective immediately. Guys, he's going to be like serving. You think he's getting 2 terms? No, he's getting 2 terms in 2 months because he's president now. Practically. Unfortunately, not with respect to the war in Ukraine, but practically. As reported here, Trump recently threatened both Mexico and Canada with 25% tariffs. During the first term in office, Trump was adamant that those who wish to apply for asylum in the U.S. wait in Mexico for their court dates. There was also a policy in place saying they order to apply for asylum in the U.S. and the asylum seeker must have applied for that status in the first safe country they got outside their own, because that happens to be international asylee law. During his first days in office, Biden overturned these orders and allowed asylum seekers to wait in USA on taxpayer dime while anticipating a court date years in the future. As for the fentanyl crisis, Trump said, I will be working on a large-scale United States advertising campaign explaining how bad fentanyl is for people to use, millions of lives being so needlessly destroyed. By the time the campaign is over, everyone will really know how bad the horror of the drug is. I will say this, because I'm not going to sugarcoat. Now that we won, especially, I'll tell you which policies I think are effective and which ones I think are less likely to be effective, if not perhaps counterproductive. I'm old enough to remember the whole "just say no" ads, and this is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs with the egg in the frying pan thing. It created awareness. There's a lot of questions as to whether that was in the 1980s under President Reagan, and Nancy Reagan was spearheading that effort. It created awareness. I don't know if it did anything, though. Can't hurt, but after Trump's election, it was reported that migrant. So I question the effectiveness of this. I question the effectiveness. Maybe. I don't know if we'll ever know if it's been effective. Perhaps that's another concern I have. After Trump's election, it was reported that migrant caravans began forming in an attempt to cross the border before he was elected president. Now it's become clear that even if they do make it, Mexico will work to keep them from crossing. It's fiesta time in Guadalajara. After the tariff threat, sorry, once in a while I'll make a veiled reference to something that fewer than 3% of you will know. After the tariff threat, Sheinbaum sent a letter to Trump saying that she had a plan to stop caravans of migrants from reaching the U.S. She also pointed out, well, that's good, she's got a plan. Someone got a plan. She also pointed out that many of those who traveled to the U.S. had appointments courtesy of the Biden-Harris administration to turn themselves over to authorities and release them to the U.S. And this is a quote from her letter where she made that point there. So, but look at this. It literally has to send a letter and all of a sudden and issue one stern warning. And the next thing you know, not even president, still sitting in Mar-a-Lago, doing more to close the border than Biden and Harris did in 4 years. It's really not that hard if you really just put your mind to it and have a little bit of backbone and common sense. It just underscores how dreadful Democratic leadership is. Just consider this for a second. These steps, we're staring at, you have all the top advisors and, what steps can we take? You cannot be a Democrat and say that in good faith that the Democrats, there's either a lack of effort or a lack of competence. That's what this story displays. The Democratic leadership has one of two fatal flaws: a lack of a desire, lack of motivation, or an utter lack of competence. Look at how easy this is. Now, there's talk and then there's action. We have to see how this manifests. But we didn't even get, talk in this direction from Mexico. That's where it starts. Not talking. There's definitely not going to be any action. It just completely spotlights how there's an utter lack of either competence or desire on the part of the Democrats to actually accomplish anything at all. So, yeah, God bless you, Donald Trump. May your reign be productive and continue to produce amazing results. Ramble on over in the ghetto. Can you cover the BOI for business owners? It might save your cult following a lot of money and headaches. It starts this year. The BOI. remember reading about this. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now. Ramelon. You don't need, just I'm watching the Ghetto right now. So just do I need to what's BOI? I don't want to guess wrong. I remember BOIR, your BOI deadline. Beneficial owner info report. I remember reading about this. Yeah, I appreciate you calling that to my attention. I do think it's a healthy thing for me to share with folks. So I think it's a new reporting requirement that you have to file information about your business with the government. Otherwise, you face penalties. But I want to look at it more so I'm more competent about it before I just start discussing it. Because otherwise, I'm not helping anyone. HR Biggs, welcome to the following. God bless you. I think I might have said that already, but if I did, welcome again. Will you trust Triangle K? No. Triangle K makes apples not kosher. Joe trying to figure out Steam is like Noah trying to figure out when the flood will come. Kinda. Yeah. A DMU link doesn't have to be Steam, but it's on sale there currently. No rush playing it. Just think it'd be fun content for a slow news week. I appreciate that. Thank you, Malcolm. Cartel assassinations of Mexican political candidates is a huge problem. Makes me wonder if those who become elected are essentially cartel selected. Could be. All right. Let's talk about throw the Jew in jail. Jail the Jew. So Ezra Levant of Rebel News, located in Canada, shared this video when he went to a pro-Hamas protest. And apparently, simply by walking over to them, they identified him as being hostile to their agenda and got very upset with him. In particular, in case you're unaware, he is Jewish, and they seem to have some issue with his presence there. Assumption, of course, being if he's a Jew, he must be anti-Hamas. Did I not? That's so bad. And, well, let's check out the video from the incident that he shared.
I'm with Rebel News, and I was told that by one of the officers there that I could speak with you on this side.
Yeah, what we've done actually, we've cordoned off an area for media, so if anybody want to interview anybody, we can send them out for you.
Actually,
okay?
I want to interview you just for a moment.
Okay.
I want to ask you why you think it's appropriate to allow that recreation of Yahya Sinwar, that fella in that chair, is sort of reenacting the Hamas terrorist leader, and it seems to me it would be like having a cross burning in front of a black.
There's no question there. You're just making a statement. I'm not going to answer.
Well,
okay.
That just seems.
If you want to interview anybody from either side, we'll make them aware that you have a space available for you. Okay.
So you don't think that's?
I'm not going to answer. Okay. I'm not going to answer it.
Well, I think it calls into question the even-handedness of your policing with all
no, we've been unbiased. We've been unbiased.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
What would they have to do? Like they're calling
I'm
for.
not going to get into what ifs and things like that. We have members from hate crime on scene.
Now, it's an interesting thing. This is in Canada, and he's thinking that some sort of political statement that they're making, that I intuitively, as both an American and a very strong advocate of First Amendment rights, I don't think anyone should be facing any sort of repercussions from the police for displaying an image of Yahya Sinwar in any sort of capacity. So I intuitively disagree with him. And I do recognize that there's sort of a hypocrisy here in that he has his own First Amendment rights while violated, while we're talking American First Amendment rights, not Canadian civil rights. Their standards of civil rights are very different than ours, far less open-minded than American concepts of freedom of speech. I cannot tell you under Canadian law whether or not it's legal. I assume that Ezra Levant knows the law in Canada far, far better than I do as to what is considered permitted speech in Canada versus here in the United States. If this was happening here in the United States, I would tell Ezra, you're being an idiot for complaining about that to the police. I cannot tell you what the law is in Canada and whether he's accurately stating what the law is in Canada or not. But it is far more of a socialist country under Justin Trudeau and the liberals who run the country there. They're very much a propaganda machine. And yeah, so he's basically saying what they're doing here isn't legal.
Really? Who are they? Can I talk with them?
I'm not going to point them out to you. They're in plain clothes.
Okay.
We do have investigators from the hate crime unit on scene.
Have you ever laid a charge for a hate crime?
Absolutely,
here
we have.
On this
and we've
block?
done an investigation as a hate
block?
crime today, and yes, we have laid charges for hate crime.
On this block?
Absolutely. Yes,
All
we
right,
have.
well, I'm glad to hear that.
And here's the thing, and here's the point that Sareed Pickle is making. Ezra wanted to video the spectacle, not silence it. He just wants to know what they were doing there. Also, he appeared on Viva Fry. I don't know if Viva did this on Rumble. So let's see if he did this on Rumble. I'm going to do a quick check and see if he did this over on Rumble. I know he did on Locals. I got a notification about it, and I started watching on Locals. And I'm definitely not going to steal his content. He actually had Ezra Levant on. Oh, he did do it on Local. He did do it on Rumble. I'll give you a couple of minutes of it. I'll give you the first couple of minutes, and I will also link. I'm going to link him in here. I'm going to link this episode in here to what he shared. This is Viva talking with Ezra Levant.
Watch, my laces in my shoes, and they put me in a 5x7 cell. I'm glad it wasn't filthy. And really
make a little bit.
Confirmed us to hightail it out of there. The one of two lines in the sand that confirmed us to hightail it out of there. All right, I see Ezra in the backdrop, and I don't know that there's any reason to keep the man waiting. It's good to see him out of handcuffs. Ezra, you good to come in? Sure. You're showing us your hands, so at least you don't have handcuffs on them anymore.
You're right, but I still have bruises. You know, they did a weird thing. I have an Apple Watch, and they put the handcuff on right over the Apple Watch, which was sort of weird. And so they made it really, really like as tight as they could get it. And I'm not whining, but I mean, you're joking about the.
I'm putting this in the description right now.
But I still have bruises there because they like the cuffs get so tight anyways. And for there to be this big, glass and metal thing, I was worried the watch would break. Listen, I'm not crying. I'm just saying it wasn't really pleasant to have that thing on for an hour. They took me to the police station. They searched me. They did take the cuffs off finally. They took away my phone, my watch, my laces, and my shoes, and they put me in a 5x7 cell. I'm glad it wasn't filthy. I know David Menzies has been thrown in a really dirty cell, and I didn't want to be in a gross cell. It wasn't gross. And, I realized that the guards at the cops at the police station jail, they had nothing to do with me being arrested, so I wasn't going to be mad at them or mean to them. And I was let out in a couple hours. I had my phone calls. I talked to my lawyer. She said, "This is really just scooping you off the street till the protest is over." But there's a case, Viva, and I don't know if you know it. It's a Supreme Court of Canada case from 2019. Pardon me. It's called Fleming versus Ontario. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it was remarkably on point to what happened to me. Let me just tell you this story. I know I'm jumping way ahead. You haven't even introduced our segment.
No, forget that. But just everybody knows that you were arrested for crossing the street to interview protesters at a pro-Palestinian protest, hauled off and then just let go later. But and the underlying idea being that they do this to interfere with journalism at the time under the pretext of inciting a mob, as if the violent mob reacting to a journalist, you arrest the journalist. That I think everybody knows the context. So please go ahead.
Yeah, and by the way, I wasn't even there to interview the mob because I had talked to them a week ago or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, and there's really nothing interesting they have to say. I just really wanted to film. They had this bizarre sort of display, like a reenactment of Yahya Sinwar's final moments. They had like a chair covered in blood. They had the initials YS on it, and they had some guy in it with like a keffiyeh as a mask. So I thought, this is really creepy. It's in a Jewish residential neighborhood. There's no Israeli embassy nearby. There's nothing to protest against other than there's Jews everywhere. So they have this crazy anti-Semitic display that is so pro-Hamas, like they're reenacting it. And I just want to take photos of that because I couldn't believe it. And the cops, they said to me, your mere presence here is causing a disturbance. I said, I am not causing a disturbance. I'm not inciting anything. I live in the neighborhood, by the way.
And I guess you can make the argument that it's not his mere presence as a Jew, that it's his mere presence as a journalist hostile to their agenda. I guess he is well known for being Jewish, so it's hard to imagine they didn't realize that, especially when their objective was basically to go to a Jewish neighborhood and irritate Jews because they're Jews. So I cannot definitively say it's because he was Jewish. Perhaps maybe he was some black journalist. If it was some other member of Rebel News who's not Jewish, they would have had a similar reaction. So I don't want to misstate. When I first heard this story, I was like, I assumed I assumed their issue with him was based on his Jewish identity. But to be fair, I could be mistaken on that. I could be. It could be simply because it was Rebel News. I haven't had a chance to watch this entire interview yet. I was actually sleeping when this happened.
I really wasn't even interacting with them, and you could hear people shouting "Jews, Zionists," like just.
See, that's what I remember hearing. I was like, Viva has framed this as journalists, jail the journalist. I remember hearing Ezra Levant saying something like that, but I was like, I'm not seeing that come up now, so maybe I misremembered, and that's why I was like nervous. I was like, maybe I'm making this like that they were against him for being a Jewish rather than being a journalist, and then he ends up being thrown in jail for it, implying that basically, well, you're basically going to jail for being a Jew in the wrong place. That's how the story was when I first came across this story. I was like, wow, so in Canada, I guess if you're a Jew in the wrong place, they can throw you in jail. That's crazy. That's crazy. And that's essentially what he's getting at here. If you're a Jew in the wrong place in Canada, jail him. It shouldn't happen to anyone. It shouldn't happen to any minority. You're black in the wrong place. I mean, can you just imagine you're black in the wrong place? Well, you shouldn't be here. Throw you in jail. Imagine you're white in the wrong place. This is meant for blacks. You're white in the wrong place. Throw them in jail. I mean, how ridiculous is that? That's insanity. Well, they're getting very upset by your presence here because they're really racist and they're very, very agitated by your presence. So we have to throw you in jail to stop that. Stop because you're wrongfully agitating them. It's like, what? What? So this is like state-sanctioned racism? Like, oh, you're triggering the racists. Look, your presence here is triggering the racists. So we're going to have to throw you in prison just to like remove you from this. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's how I understood it. And when Viva framed it as a whole, journalist thing, I was just like, I don't know, maybe I got the story wrong. I don't want to mislead you. It could be I got it wrong, but here he is. He's saying that they were screaming at him, Jew Zionist. So there you go.
Just that was the reason. And
that's rude for those folks to say. I don't think it's illegal, but it does become illegal when a cop says, oh, for anti-Semitic reasons, the Hamas people want the Jew out. I will now go enforce that. No, you can't do that. The police has to be neutral. And can I tell you about this court case?
Yeah, please.
And boy, it's on point. It's called Fleming versus Ontario. And Fleming was a guy who there was a dispute over land. There was Indigenous people versus other people and protester, counter-protester. It's not that important, but Fleming was on one side of the divide. And he had a big Canadian flag with him. And then some counter-protesters sort of came towards him. And the cops did what they are doing more and more these days. They are taking the path of least resistance. And just like on Sunday, it would have been easier to arrest me than to tamp down 20 excitable pro-Hamas people.
Mm-hmm.
With Mr. Fleming, the cops found it a lot easier just to jump him, drop him to the ground, take his flag, and arrest him rather than handle a bunch of these folks who were really excited. And the Supreme Court ruled 9-0, which is, I mean, it does happen, but boy, that's a show of force. Unanimously, the Supreme Court of Canada said you cannot arrest someone who is doing nothing unlawful. If a guy is not breaking the law, if he's just there, you cannot arrest him because other people might get disturbed or
are being disturbed.
The public crowd and revved up. I forget the exact language of the ruling. It's not in front of me. So he had a successful lawsuit against them, by the way, for false arrest and police brutality. But the larger point was you're not allowed to just scoop someone up and arrest him because other people are excitable. You've got to actually do your job, or don't do your job, I suppose. Let the beating take place. But you can't arrest the guy who's being lawful. That feels so on point with my case, except for one thing, Viva. I actually wasn't even part of the protest. Like I said, I was there. I introduced myself to the cop as a journalist. I said, I'm here to take pictures of that display. He actually walked me there for a moment and then walked me back, one of the cops, and then let me go. So I clearly was at liberty, but another cop didn't like the fact I was badgering him a bit and I was challenging him a bit. One of the cops said, I am the law. I said, you are not the law, sir. You're a servant of the law. It's a different thing. And then another guy,
I think
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, let me see if I can bring this up. Is it going to be very small? I'll bring it up like that.
Well, yeah, because you're inciting this crowd and it breaches the peace.
You're inciting breaches the peace.
That's exactly what you're trying to do.
I'm a Jew.
No, because you're trying to incite.
I haven't tried to incite them. I went to take a picture of the hate crime that
You
you're
could have done it on
abiding.
the other side. You didn't need to walk over.
No, I wanted to go out. I don't
Now I'm
think
going to tell you to
anyone-
move over there.
And
And if you don't press
I want to get to the part where you say I'm your boss.
take that video.
I allowed you to take that.
Yeah.
I'm not
So you're
crossing the road.
refusing to leave?
I'm refusing to leave.
Why?
Because I'm a Jew, I'm a citizen, and I'm your boss. And I don't leave if you say things
Well,
like
you know
that on
what?
the street.
In the interest of keeping peace here and public safety, you're under arrest for breaching the peace.
All right, there you have it.
Wow.
Sorry for the small screen, but
Wow.
you get the idea.
How dare you
Yeah,
call
I mean,
me-
when I said I was a Jew, my point was that's exactly what Hamas people were calling out. I generally don't lead with the fact that I'm Jewish. It's part of who I am, and I am proudly Jewish. But my main identity is I'm Canadian. I'm a journalist. I'm a pro-freedom activist. And I was there in my capacity as a journalist, but the Hamas mob said, Zionist, Jew, get out. And I'm saying, no. I'm a citizen. I'm a Jew. And by the way, I'm a taxpayer. That's my neighborhood. I have every single right there is. And by the way, cops who are thinking they are, high priests, they're wrong. They work for us, not the other way. I think.
So I think we get the point here. It's horrifying. I mean, this is horrifying. I don't want to. I strongly urge you all to check out the full interview there. I know it's on Rumble and maybe on YouTube as well. It's definitely in his locals. That you all know. I'm friends with Viva Fry, great guy, and the interview there seems really compelling. I don't want to lift all of his content there, and so I'm going to urge you all to check it out. And the link is in the description, so you can just click on it and check that out there. But it's a horrifying thing that police are basically siding with racists because, well, the racists are triggered. The racists are triggered. So we got to arrest. We got to arrest the person that they want to kill. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's astonishing. And that's what the West is. That's what globalist Obama wants us to start working closer and closer towards. Let's have a pluralistic conversation. Folks have to sit down. Folks, some folks have to sit down and understand and hear from the other side of the aisle. That's the culture. Forget about it. Put aside all the other craziness with the woke stuff and like that. That authoritarianism of like whoever is popular and in vogue today, whichever ideology or cult or whatever is in vogue today, that's who the police state is going to be ratcheted towards protecting and carrying out their will, the will of like the biggest loonies whose voice is deemed by the powers on high, the unseen, unknown powers on high, to be the important, significant, relevant voice of de jour. And whoever is their target of abuse, the state is going to join in and help them out. That's what the Obamas of the world want us to lean in harder and harder. Thank God Trump won. Thank God. Oh my God. So thankful. So thankful. Thank you, God. Oh my God. This is where we're going. This is where we're being dragged to. Talk about fascism. Oh God. So I urge you to all check out that video. And it's a horrific story. Which, I know he said that like their objective was not to press charges on him, but more just, to clamp down on the situation so it didn't escalate. That doesn't change anything.
What else?
Instead, they should have just been doing their job. They should have been doing their job and making sure that keeping the racists in check from engaging in violence. It is what it is. That's our world today. All right. I'm moving at a steady clip here. We're moving through. Cartel assassinations of Mexican political candidates is a huge problem. Makes me wonder if those who became elected are essentially cartel selected. We got this before. And Matt Skinner hit me with another 5. Captain. I think that's a subtle way of reminding me I'm supposed to be giving out 5 myself. I don't know how to do that. Let's see. All right, here we go. I'm going to go through the 5 that he brought in. Who'd you bring in here? Oh, and then he hit me with 10. Captain Matt. He wants a promotion. He's like, no, Captain's too low. Come on, man. Come on, man. Who'd you bring to me? Who'd you bring into the following? I'm going to run through these names as fast as I can because I don't want to spend a long time on this today. Where are we? I think I missed the first 5. I'm sorry about that, Matt. Yeah, I missed the first 5. But I got the last 10, which was, where are you? Let me just pull that up. Here's the 10. I'll give you another horn for that. Following 10 people were gifted courtesy of Captain Matt. Where are you? Oh, I had it a second ago. Okay. James E. Ojimbo, Drew the Dog Man, Mark Griffiths. Les Arubagal. Seize the Day. Seize the Day. Snowberry Market. Purple Ivy. Joel Skane. And Tennessee Volunteer. All of them gifted courtesy of Captain Matt. God bless you, Captain Matt. Those you brought into the following, please express your gratitude. It's Thanksgiving. If you can't do it today, it's like the same way. If you can't gloat today, when can you gloat? If you can't express gratitude on Thanksgiving, where are you? What are you? Don't be a turkey. All right, and here's the 5 I'm giving out now. Let's see what happens. Who did I gift? Who got it? Who got it? It's very random. Brought into the following, courtesy of yours truly, Brad Powers, Danielle, Uberian 22, DB, and Quarter Jap Johnny. Welcome. Welcome to the following. We have cookies. Admiral? You want Admiral? You're working your way there fast, Admiral. You're working your way there fast. Keep killing with the rants and rants. Quick question. How do we separate artist from art? This P. Diddy thing means we have to wonder. That is the age-old question. It's a famous Supreme Court justice who basically struggled on a similar vein, where there's a Supreme Court decision where he said that I cannot describe the distinction between art and pornography, but I know it when I see it. Which I guess there's a certain humility to that, to recognizing I can't put it into words and give you a fair description, but I know it when I see it. Which is never a healthy answer in the legal realm, because the idea is to draw hard lines so people know when they've crossed that line. And this is one of the things that law struggles with when it comes specifically to art. Is how do you draw lines on something that is I mean, I actually would say the difference between art and pornography is perhaps easier to define. But I never thought about drawing distinctions between artist and the art. Maybe I could think it through. Because I could try to draw a line between art and pornography, but even that would end up including subjective features to it. I can draw an arbitrary, I can draw a line and say, you know, if a reasonable person would interpret this as intending to arouse the viewer, that's when art crosses into being pornography. Now, that line itself is going to be subjective based on the jury and who's weighing the finder of fact as to whether the objective of the artist is to arouse the viewer. But that would, to me, that seems to be a line. But anyway, Master Phillips, king of recruitment, coming in there saying, hey, don't forget about me. Don't forget about me. Don't forget about me. Who'd you bring in? Who'd you bring us? Who'd you bring us? Courtesy of Master Phillips, we now have the following can now proudly say that Alabama Gigi Christie is a member of the following. Couldn't say it before. Couldn't, but now we can. As well as ODF, Z&J Mamas, Jared Birch, and Lily. Welcome to the following, my friends. We hope that you'll enjoy your stay. Please keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. I want to get to this fight between, I guess now, Congressman Vindman. I think he's the congressman. I get confused between the two Vindmans. I'm not going to... Is Alexander I know there's Alexander, and he's a twin brother. and they both like basically are indistinguishable from each other. Two, it's like basically a paracucks. A paracucks but where are we? Scroll down here. Sort this away. I gotta get to this real fast. Let's see the stuff that popped in, but I gotta. Here's Alexander Vindman starting a war with Elon Musk, accusing Elon of basically being Putin's asset. Because this is where the left is desperate to go.
Clearly, Putin has a type. He likes narcissists and egomaniacs that he knows as a case officer he could easily pander to and manipulate to do his dirty work.
And yet he never hit you up.
We are under attack. Russia has been using different levers, whether that's corruption networks. In this case, it's influencers like Donald Trump, like Elon Musk, to really kind of sow discord. And it's particularly troubling with Elon Musk in this case because Elon Musk has access to state secrets. He has top secret security clearance. It's possible that some of that is seeping through. Putin has been very effective in playing both Trump and Elon, and he's been using the richest man in the world to do his bidding. In some cases, that's encouraging him probably to support Donald Trump. That's not speculation. We see how far in Elon is going.
No, it is speculation. Speculation that Putin even wants Trump to win. That alone is speculation. You see, you start with certain givens. It's speculation that he's had any contact whatsoever with Elon ever. He or any of his agents have ever had any contact with Elon. That's speculation. So you can sit there pretending it's not speculation, but it rather evidently it is. Unless you can, it's like Adam Schiff saying we have clear and convincing evidence. I can't show it to you. I can't show it to you just yet. I can't show it to you, but we have clear evidence of a connection between Putin and Trump. This is the same BS crap that the left has been throwing out for the last 8 years, ever since the whole freaking Russian collusion hoax. We're tired of you. You're a liar. This is defamatory. I mean, what the heck is he talking about here?
On, and then using Twitter as a disinformation platform. So this is not some sort of far off, distant threat. This is going to impact our elections. It's a national security
I will agree. Just it's a national security threat. Yeah.
threat.
I will agree with you that X is a disinformation platform. Nope. Wait. Nope. I didn't say that. I didn't word that. X is a disinformation platform. That's what it is. That's the problem for the left. That's why they're so bothered by it. It's a disinformation platform. It does awaken people into all the BS of the left. And that's what they hate about Elon, is that it's a disinformation platform, a very effective tool. His critical analysis and ability to use your brain to actually look at things, hear arguments, exchange back and forth is the perfect disinformation platform. In fact, our founding fathers have recognized that there is no better, more effective way of engaging in disinformation than by engaging in free speech. So I'll agree with him on that. But when he leaves the air quotes out, it kind of changes the entire meaning. What he's saying kind of changes the entire meaning. I should tweet that out. Before I forget it. Let's do that real fast. So, got that done. But Elon responded. See, he's saying basically that what he's done is basically committing treason. And Elon responded with, Vindman is on the payroll of Ukrainian oligarchs and has committed treason against the United States, for which he will pay the appropriate penalty. For which he will pay the appropriate penalty. So both basically, Vindman calls Elon treasonous for working with Putin. And Elon is calling Vindman treasonous for working with Ukraine. So when Elon put that out, here's his proposed. Let's check out the proposed community notes here for what Elon's saying. Note needed. This is a false statement that damages Vindman's reputation. Musk appears to have said it with reckless disregard for the truth, if not actual malice. That's not the one I saw earlier. This is the one I saw. This is an explicit death threat. I rated that not helpful because it ain't. It's basically saying that the penalty for treason. This is a citation to the U.S. Code saying that the penalty for treason is death. So like this is an explicit death threat. No, it's not. Saying you can be prosecuted is not a death threat. I will tell you one of the things I was thinking about doing with you all, and the problem is that this would take a lot of homework, of not fun kind of homework. I should explain to you something, okay? It was only just a day or two ago that Lady Lawgic was sitting here. I think it was yesterday. And she walked into the room, and I'm sitting at my desk right here. And I'm scrolling through my phone, and she hears video after video playing. And she was frazzled, exhausted. Like she'd been working with kids all day, running around shopping. She comes back here, and I'm sitting here pretty much like in my underwear, like in 6 o'clock in the evening, just scrolling through watching videos. She's running around all day. And she's like, and she like just gives me this look of like, and then she realizes that I'm like taking these, videos, and I'm like, she hears the video playing, sees me laughing, and she's like, "You have the greatest job in the world." And I was like, "I know, I do. I have the greatest job in the world." She's like, "I'm killing myself, and you spend all day just like watching videos, and just like this is like the job you've always wanted, where you can just basically sit there doing nothing, watching videos, and then you go to the audience and you're like, 'Hey guys, look what I found.'" And I was like, I do more than that. I create thumbnails. She was so angry. It's like, I don't know what to tell you. And she's like, she can't complain. It's just, so anyway, I'm trying to think of that just now. But what was I talking about that made me come to that? That's actually what I said to her. I said, "Work smarter." Work smarter. I don't know what to tell you. I did find my niche in life. I did. Thank God. I'm very, very blessed. I had somewhere I was going with this related to this whole Elon thing, and I don't remember what it was. Oh, now I do. Homework. I was like, I don't want to do the homework of sitting through 4 hours, 7 hours, whatever it is, of Vinman testifying. I don't want to sit there doing that. I don't want to sit there. I already sat through it once. Why do I have to sit through this again? I don't have to do that. But I will tell you this, because people are talking about, like, did he engage in, is he really treasonous? How valid is Elon's claims? How valid is that? So I'm going to tell you, what I'm telling you now is from memory, because I did watch the impeachment hearings both times. Impeachment 1 and Impeachment 2. Not religiously. It's not like I had to sit there commenting on it, day by day, but I did watch them. Like I would say probably between 80 and 90% of it I watched. And I remember that jackass, that knucklehead testifying. And one of the things that is not evident in the first 5-10 minutes of him talking, but becomes more and more evident as he's questioned and starts talking about his history as an American liaison to Ukraine. He admitted that he was offered by the Ukrainian government an opportunity to become their Secretary of Defense. He says, no, I turned it down because of my love for America, or something to that effect. The Ukraine basically wanted to put him in charge of their military. And I'm pretty sure, I don't remember this part as vividly, I'm pretty sure that he has Ukrainian blood in him. Like his family originates from Ukraine. That's neither a factor here nor there. We all come, every American family comes from somewhere across the pond. Well, one pond or another, whether it's the Atlantic or the Pacific. But he still, he still identifies with it enough that he brought up in his testimony, to the best of my recollection. I'm like that part I'm 80% sure about. I'm 95% sure that he even testified that he was offered this, top government clearance level position by the Ukrainian government. And he's like, but I turned it down. But it's like, this is how intimately he's working with the Ukrainian government, that they know him very well. They like him and respect him and Ukraine feels that it's a reasonable question to ask this colonel that maybe you want to change sides and join with us. Like, his level of love for Ukraine was so manifest to the Ukrainian government that they were like, oh, no, this guy can serve as a Ukrainian patriot here and really help our military. So maybe we should bring him on board. That's their reflection of what their takeaway is of his mindset. The Ukrainian government's mindset is, he's one of us. He's ours. And he got up there, and his whole testimony was that, we had to keep reminding Trump to send that check for $1 billion or to send over javelins. That took him an extra 2 months. Like, that was like the big reveal. And that he felt that delay could have potentially hurt Ukraine. Didn't. There was no impact that he could actually point to, but that he was genuinely very, very concerned for Ukraine's safety and security while he was trying to pressure the United States to live up to its promise of a gift to Ukraine, that Trump was delaying, in his efforts, in his perspective, the delivery of that gift. Which actually, if you go through the testimony, it was the OMB which signs off on the check, and there were other issues there. So there was really no evidence of that at all. From my again, that's based on my recollection. We're going back at least 4 years now, right? 6 years now, I think. But so this guy, when he says, and we do know Ukraine is a very, very corrupt country, like it's noted to be like one of the 5 most corrupt countries on the planet. So, and the Ukrainian government is in love with him and thinks that, he loves them and would be willing to change sides from being a colonel in the American military to being the head of their defense department. So when Elon Musk writes over here, Vinman is on the payroll of Ukrainian oligarchs and has committed treason against the United States, for which he will pay the appropriate penalty. Maybe he does have clearance. Maybe he has seen stuff. I don't know. I'd love to see it because this guy, he's a snake. He is a snake. So I can't tell you that he's committed treason. My gut says he has. I wouldn't be surprised if he has. And if he is getting paid by Ukrainian oligarchs, it would, A, not be remotely surprising because they bribe everybody. That's how business is done there. it's practically legalized in Ukraine. And it's certainly like, the customs and practices of the businesses in Ukraine is that's what you do. You sort of have an expense account for bribery. Complete contravention to American notions of how business is done. And so if they did kick him some money, it would not be remotely surprising, considering how much they love him and how much they love him and he loves them. The love affair between Vinman and Ukraine is notoriously strong. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not accusing him of doing it. I wouldn't be surprised. And if he has, that would be treason. Maybe they find ways of gifting him in ways that are not against the U.S. military code. I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised. And I hope if he has done it, I hope he pays a penalty. I hope he does. Terrible, man. So there you go. So, wait, there were a few people who commented on this. So their comments were interesting. Textbook treason, how justice going to hit Nick's order? How justice going to hit Vinman hard? Cat turned Vinman is treasonous traitor. Here's Trump saying the quiet part out loud.
I said this 5 years ago, you'd lock me up. We got to lock him up.
So lock up your political opponent.
Bricksuit wants the trial televised. I'll tell you right now, it will not be televised because it'd be federal crimes and federal court is never televised. Is that really Sidney Powell? Gosh. She has 944,000 followers still? Oh my God. Seriously? Sidney Powell. I mean, I think it's a fair point about likely FARA violations. I don't like Sidney Powell. I think she's a grifter. I think she's the ultimate grifter. I will never forgive her for what she did in 2020. That was crap. So there you go. Does he really? Baddock saying his family has ties to organized crime as well. Anyway. All right. I got some stuff I got to get to here. A lot of people mad Vindman. They're still here also. The Republicans against Trump. God. Like, it's just change your name to Cuckold. Unbelievable. Losers. God. Three weirdos. All right. What's been going on here? Sorry, I'm late. I was drinking at a VFW. Nowhere else to go. You are forgiven. Matt Skinner, how many movies can I watch in good conscience? Wait, is this going back to when I was talking about the difference between art and... Oh. How do we separate artists from the art? This P. Diddy thing means we have to wonder. Oh, so wait. Are you bringing this up because the whole Ryan Reynolds thing? Is that what made you bring this up? This is a very, if so, this is a very important question. This is a very important question. which is, and this has come up a lot during my time streaming here, which is when we see these Hollywood loonies come out with their terrible vitriol, should we say the same way with Disney? People are like, I'm canceling Disney Plus, I'm canceling Netflix Plus, right? So we do it with corporations. I stopped drinking Budweiser. Yeah, we turn away from, we boycott woke or terrible ideology spreading corporations. What about individuals who become part of that system and are spreading that toxic perspectives? And I'm not going to kid you. Like Ryan Reynolds, like if you tell me Ryan Reynolds is in a movie, I'll say to myself, I'll probably enjoy the 2 hours. I'm not saying it'll be a good movie. I'm saying like he'll probably add enough to it that there's going to be an hour and a half, 2 hours that I'd likely enjoy most of the time there watching it. I'm a fan of his work. Everything about his style is very comfortable for myself and many people in MAGA, likely. And then you see him basically joining forces, locking arms with Barack Obama and spreading his globalist agenda. And I'm like, so wait, if I'm boycotting Budweiser, if I'm tuning out, I'm not letting my kids watch Disney, so why am I going to Ryan Reynolds movie? Like, it's I can't, and I've talked about the fact that I can't watch Tom Hanks anymore. When I see him in a movie, all I can think to myself is, you jackass. I can't dissociate him, the actor, from the character any longer, because he's so tightly ingrained into the political idiot mouthpiece he's become. Very much like Tom Hanks. I struggle with Jim Carrey too. And then you have so adding Ryan Reynolds to that list, that's a big blow. And so many of these Hollywood types, Seth Rogen. It's like they basically had to like ruin everything about the positives of culture they've created. I don't know. I don't think you sort of have to make that call for yourself. I'm not going to tell you this is the right call, this is the wrong call. I'm not the type who's going to be like, I sort of feel like would I never ever watch Godfather 2 again because Robert De Niro is in it? Do I apply it to just new movies that he's in? And here's the other thing also. Here's the other thing. It's like, does that ruin the old work they did? Or does that just be like, okay, going forward, I'm not going to watch his new stuff? So on that question, I would say definitely the newer stuff, the stuff they create after they basically cross that line into becoming spokesmodels for disaster, that if Robert De Niro comes out with a new movie tomorrow, next week, whatever, next month, I'd be like, I'm not watching that. I'm not watching that crap anymore. I don't care. I don't care. Whatever it is he's in, I'm not watching it. Because I want people, and I want him to become less marketable going forward. What about movies that he's in the past? I don't feel like he's making money off of that. Does me watching it encourage people to say, hey, there's money that's coming, that's rolling in from that? So you watch Goodfellas, now there's money rolling in from that. If I watch Casino, is there money rolling into that? So people are like, oh, look how much money it makes year by year, even 10 years later. So maybe that's a reason that I want to bring Robert De Niro into this next project I'm in. Perhaps. But so now when it comes to Ryan Reynolds, he obviously has a very large body of work that he's created. I definitely think there's a difference between when they become the public face, and especially when they do it with angry vitriol. Like, I haven't seen what Ryan Reynolds, I haven't seen him say something about Trump yet. I haven't seen him say, and now he's locking arms with Obama. Obama is far less well known to be the terrible influence he is. I'm continually talking about it, but the public does not regard him with that terrible thing. You want to give Ryan Reynolds a pass, you can say, the reason we're talking about Ryan Reynolds is because I was talking about, if you came late and you just joined now, earlier in the show, I was talking about how now that the Democrats are weak and out of power altogether, Obama is promoting, we need to talk about pluralism and how to have an open, healthy dialogue across the aisle without hate and all that other stuff, even though he's the one who was the progenitor of all that hate. And that he's advocating and pimping out that he's got these new different democracy forums. And when I went to click on meet some of our speakers, the first one next to him is Ryan Reynolds. And I'm like, why the hell are you signing up with this thing? But then I have to realize that even though I'm continually saying how Obama is basically Satan for the impact he's had on America, I understand that my opinion on that, while being 100% accurate and spot on, is still not something that the public has come to grips with and realizes yet. And most people do look at him as a statesman. Most people have not seen through the mask and the veneer and the terribleness, disaster that he has been to America, because he is a very slick, shady salesman, Obama. So I can sort of say, you know what, maybe Ryan Reynolds over here, I mean, he's just too stupid to realize what the damaging influence that Obama has been to America. Maybe he needs more good logic. And until he gets that, he's just like some, pretty boy airhead. When it comes to politics, that he's not sitting there spewing like, you voted for a fascist, the way De Niro did, the way Hanks did, the way Carey did. So maybe you can sort of give him more of a pass. P. Diddy, that you brought up, Matt Skinner, that's a guy I'm like, I know you can't touch that guy. You can't touch that. I mean, do you want to? Seriously? Do you want to? So maybe Ryan Reynolds, you can give him more of a pass because he hasn't come out with that same, I'm taking a stance and I want everyone to know my stance. This is more of like he's joining an initiative to sort of, lock arms, let's all be friends type of thing. Maybe stupidly, maybe purposefully, maybe he knows what he's doing. Maybe he is part of that. So you want to give him more of a pass on we give more of a pass on Ryan Reynolds. I get that. I understand that. And maybe I'm just justifying because I happen to like Ryan Reynolds' work. I'm being real with you. I definitely have a motive to sort of be more defensive of Ryan Reynolds, but you know what? I've liked a lot of Tom Hanks' work also. I'll tell you right now, I can't watch anything that guy's in anymore. Even his old stuff makes my stomach turn. Jim Carrey, I can't watch it. I just keep thinking like, wow, you are such an a-hole. You're such an a-hole about being a douchebag, purveyor of crap, terrible wokeness. And that could be a factor too. You ultimately have to make the call for yourself. I think each of us has to make that call for yourself. Draw your own lines. But I also think that when you're making that call, perhaps it is fair to say the distinction between work they produce after they display their a-hole nature and how terrible an influence they're willing to become, like a De Niro screaming out there, I want to punch Trump in the face, versus work that he did, that he's been doing since he came out as a lunatic, which really is ever since Trump, which really since 2016. So I look at his work like ever since 2016 and pre-2016 is somewhat different. People tell me that they're going to watch, they want to watch his stuff that he was in from beforehand. I'm like, yeah, I got it. The new stuff they're coming out with, I'm like, really? You need to watch that? There also is a difference that the quality of work that's being produced by Ryan Reynolds today versus the quality of work being done by these other people is very different. I've been rambling on this topic for a very long time, but I think it's an interesting conversation. So, Anthony F. Soldier. This guy over the last half hour has been raining down memberships, and just it's like I feel as if I'm in like this is like Arizona, and like all these different new wannabe followers have just been streaming across the border. It's like we're under the whole Biden administration, and like YouTube is trying to keep him out, like Texas, and no, and he's like, no. I'm sitting here, I'm like, come on in. Diversity is our strength. Come to the following. Diversity is our strength. Diversity is our strength. What a stupid statement that is. So not true. I don't know if I got all the people who he brought in. I don't know if I got all the people, because I know that this is what Anthony has brought in. He brought in 10, and then he brought in 5, and then he brought in another 5. I also plan on getting to this from Liz. God bless you. I'm gonna get to that soon. So I'm gonna just call out the 20 people if I can find them. I'm gonna try to do my best to find them. If I call out your name, that means you have been gifted courtesy of Anthony. That's right, Anthony, my guy, Anthony, Soldier of Providence, gifted you a membership into the following. And I say to you, welcome to the following. Do not be confused. Even though I'm the one who's babbling on and on here, I am not the leader. Say it with me. Joe is not the leader of the following. Very, very much not the leader of the following. I'm just a host. I am just a host. People get so confused. All right. So here are the people that Anthony, Soldier of Providence, brought in here. We got Nikki G, Kinji Harma, BJK, James Thompson, Rachel, Jonathan Spreewell, Ann Byers, Christy Copley, Maria Floor, Deborah Miller. It might be Copley. I don't know. I'm not trying to get it wrong, but I'm doing my best. There's no E there, so that's why I guess Copley. What else I got? Gina S, Brenda Triplett, Fixie Clara, Elizabeth Ballack, Gina S, Sledgehog, Robin Fox. I'm getting so confused. Nobody, Clown World Observer. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so confused. Oh, this is. I'm getting confused. If I missed you, which I almost definitely did. I know, not almost definitely. I did do. I definitely missed people. I definitely missed people in here. I apologize to you for that. Anyway, those of you who are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please express your gratitude. It's very, very important, especially on Thanksgiving. If you're not going to do it now, please express your gratitude to Anthony, who gifted, like I said, 10, and Anthony F. God bless you, brother. Thank you so much. Welcome to the following. God bless you. Also want to call out Liz here, who hit me up with a second red one today. Here, if you sit there all day watching videos, thank my dad. He was incredibly successful, and I feel a huge responsibility to care for his efforts. He would approve. Well, thank you very much. I really do sit watching videos. Here's the process. The process is, this is me all day long. The only difference is I'm usually not wearing a shirt. Sit here on my phone like this. Sometimes I'll be sometimes I'll be in bed. I'm basically sitting here, and I'll be like, all right, let's go to X, and I'm going to sit there. And what I learned about X is when you go into X here, okay? So when you go into X, this is, I'll show you here on my phone, okay? So if you go into X and you find some video thing, it can't be like a YouTube thing. It's got to be something that was uploaded in here. The beauty of X. Another one. This might sound a little weird. Okay, so you click on something like this, and then you could scroll up, and you get another one. Oh man, see. Once in a while it'll do that. You saw what happened there? There was 2 videos playing at once, which is very annoying. Let me reopen it because you have to actually close X down when that happens. I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna watch with you here. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. But here's the interesting thing. All right, Dre Fanzer is very good for this. The reason he's good. So you click on a video here, like this is the same video. He does memes, Dre Fanzer. And then I'll pop to the next one. And then you just scroll up to the next one. If I like it, this is making the point that I was about to make, which is if you watch a funny video on X and you scroll up, you're going to get another funny one. Usually. Maybe sometimes there'll be like a non-funny one. If you watch a non-funny one and you keep scrolling through, you're never going to get to a funny one. So if you want to find funny, I'm giving you a tip here. If you want to find funnier ones, you need to find one that's funny and then keep scrolling. I'm teaching you. I'm teaching you. So basically, I'll sit here, and then if I find one a good one, I'll basically like, all right, okay, let me I'll be like, all right, let me save that, and then I'm going to copy the URL, and then I go over and I share it to myself on another social media app, and then I'll store them all away. But it's like just finding, I glean out, what I share with you here is probably like 10% of the videos that I go through, maybe 20. If I have a good day. See how many windows I start the day with. I learned a few tricks also. It's important to label them when you're putting them up there. But question is, how do we? I really do spend it. I spend it. That's why when Lady Lawgic made that comment to me, like, you have the best job in the world. Like she's like, you sit there all day doing nothing. I said, I know. And sometimes people ask me how many hours a day I work. And I never know whether I should tell them 10 or 0. It's either 10 to 12 or 0. Because even this part here, I love doing this. This is a lot of fun. This that we're doing right now, it's fun. It's work. It's fun. It gets tiring after a while. It's fun. Question is, how do we deprogram the young people who have simply been indoctrinated instead of being educated as critical thinkers? You need to teach them to think. That's the key. You need to teach them to think. It's very important. And sometimes just be patient. It's something they almost need to come to on their own. This is one of the things I've really only come to appreciate more and more recently. Sometimes they're just not in the right place to actually have an open mindset. Right now is the worst time to try and deprogram anyone. The worst time. Because now they're completely absorbed in their own fields, which is another reason this is a good time to gloat, because you're not going to get through to them with logic anyway. If you tell them everything's going to be fine, they're not going to believe you. They're not going to believe you. So you might as well enjoy it. They're very, very emotional right now. Very emotional. But perhaps the best way is you sort of want to find them when they're unknowingly enjoying something that is this is the best way that I would think to do it. You see a young person who in some way is enjoying or benefiting the blessings of a healthier type of mindset and perspective. And that's what you want to sort of either hit them up then or a few minutes later, or at least store it away and say, this whole thing here, that is because you're not part of like saying yes to woke ideology. It's because you're recognizing what I'm saying is you sort of want to find moments that they'll be able to look back at as impacting them in a positive way, either emotionally, financially, socially, or whatever, and call out how that's tied into a healthier way, a healthier mindset. There are positives, and that it's childish to think that every 3 minutes is either amazing, great, or terrible, awful. Little kid, that's what like a 4-year-old does. A 4-year-old is everything is very extremist. So you sort of want to like take them out of being extremist, of the extremist mentality, and point to them like how, like, you know, that's like a 3-year-old is like really happy 1 second and then crying, you know, when he gets his ice cream. Like this is like the happiest moment of his life. Oh my God, I have ice cream, and bawling in tears a minute later when the ice cream falls on the floor. When neither reaction is proper for an adult. Instead of it being ice cream, it's some movie coming out or some video being released. Tar and Feather? I missed this one. You dropped that a while ago, I know. It's difficult for some people to see that this is work. You're like a long-distance college professor. Your insights and knowledge have monetary value. Thank you. Thank you. I wrote a very lengthy thing on X today. I actually wrote 2 lengthy things today. It was shorter one is on locals, where I explained the whole thing about mandates that I really was bringing out in the beginning of the show. The lengthier one was on X. I went through a whole lengthy explanation as to why it is that these appointments by Trump are very significant and everyone is all lockstep watching it. And whether you're on the left, far left, medium, center right, neocon, left, far, everyone is fascinated by these picks. Fascinated by these picks in ways I do not recall any presidential appointments garnering similar attention. And I actually invested some time into writing it in ways that I thought were original and creative, and I'm saying just wording it artfully, while at the same time expressing thought that I felt like people might not have appreciated as to why these have the significance they have, how Trump has been playing it, how these picks have been seem like conflicting with each other, and how he keeps throwing scraps to everyone, and how that all is part of his showmanship. Or it could be that's part of his development as a politician into like, this is how I'll get something done, is if I give scraps to the neocons, I give the neocons Rubio, I give MAGA Doge and Tulsi and RFK, and I'll throw more scraps back to the neocons, and he's dropping little droplets of information every day. Here's one. Here's another one. You never know when they're coming. You don't know how far away they are. You don't. And every one of them, we're cheering or booing, and sometimes we're confused. Like, wait, who is this guy? Is he on our side? Is he on their side? It's a very weird thing, and the left is terrified. And I was trying to explain why this has such significance in ways it's never had before. Especially, we're looking at a potential political shake-up in Washington. That Washington, you got half of the Republican Party wants Washington to stay intact, and your neocons, and then you got the MAGA folks over here, like with me, who are basically like, no, burn the whole thing down. Not literally, but just dismantle everything. Sell it all for used parts. And we're looking at these appointments as indicators as to where he's going. And at the end of the day, so it's like Trump is just drenched in spotlight, and you can't look away, because this is like where our future is going. It's all about what's going through his thing, and it's like a game of Red Rover, who he's calling over. So, and I was like, and I hadn't seen anyone else really breaking it down. And I write this whole long thing. And look, when I send a post out, I cannot for the life of me figure out how much attention something on X is going to get. Sometimes I'll write something that I think is hilarious, and it'll get 25 likes, which when you have 50,000 followers, that's not a lot of likes. And I'll see that it only had engagement that like 700 people saw it. And again, when you have 50,000 followers, that's not a lot of that's dismal engagement. And then I'll put out other stuff, which I'm like, all right, there's a little throwaway thing, and it'll have like 300 likes, and I'll be like, all right, I can never figure it out. When I'm writing something long like that, which it was a very long piece, I'm never sure, should I put it in one long thing or should I make it just like a thread? Which way is better, as a thread or as a long thing? Okay. And I seem to be really terrible at understanding the X algorithm, like really, really bad at understanding it. Where other people are putting out content that I'm just like, I don't even think it's funny. I don't think it's anything. I don't understand what's happening here. And it'll just get like likes and likes. And I feel as if I just don't really understand the algorithm. I'm not going to kid you. It's a little frustrating. But this part I enjoy here a lot. It's frustrating because I'm just like, if I'm going to put a lot of effort into writing something out rather than giving it off here or giving it over on locals, I at least want people to see it. Like, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to develop engagement there. So, I don't know. But I appreciate that. I really appreciate the comment. Thank you, brother. We need to be heard. I'm trying. I'll do my best. This isn't about Ryan Reynolds, it's about the entire industry, movies and music provided by monsters. Well, that's why I branched into others. I figure that's where you're going. Ella, give Ryan a chance. He's Canadian. All right. You didn't hear? De Niro's career is over. Is it? Is it? De Niro's retired? De Niro retired? Did he? Is that actually true? No, I don't know. I don't know if you're just saying that like it's just realistically over. But I just Googled that. They say in February, say something he enjoys working. Good. Terrible human being. Reynolds and celebs aren't necessarily stupid. The celebs are too rich to feel the effects of Obama and the Dems' destruction on the country. That's possibly true too. Oh my God. Reynolds, Mo Lester, let's live our best life. Only watch Nick Cage movies. It's so funny that you say that. It's funny that you say that. I can't believe out of all the names to pick, you chose that. Because I just 2 days ago watched National Treasure. And I was like, I know it's campy. I know it's kind of stupid. I know it doesn't make any sense. None of it makes any sense. It's so stupid. I'm like, this is so stupid. But it's a fun way to kill 2 hours. It is. It's a stupid movie. It's a fun, like, just classic. Everyone is like cartoonishly bad or ridiculously heroically good in a way that like it feels like an 80s movie that's 20 years too late. But it's just good fun. And then I saw a clip for him as like in some cop movie where there's a Korean, I don't remember the name of it. I saw a clip. I was like, yeah, maybe let's check out that movie. Where there's a Korean, a little Korean-owned store that's being robbed. And he's a cop walking around there. Anyway, it's funny that you mentioned, of all people, mentioned Nick Cage. What's the name of that movie? You guys know the name of that movie? I knew it was going to end up being here 4 hours. I don't know. Is that the lottery ticket? I think they give him a free coffee. I'm going there. I'm going there soon. I'm working my way there. I know. I'm working my way there. My God. You guys are so generous to me. All right. Wow. Okay. Oh my God. All right. There's Scott Chisholm. Where we go? Relevance is on my radar. My question was, how do we separate the artist from the art? P. Diddy and his ilk are about to make all of us cry forever watching them. It's a philosophical question. Oh, so you're saying, oh, that's what you bring up, P. Diddy. You're saying because we're going to see a whole bunch of. So now this is a different thing. This is a different thing. In other words, when the P. Diddy, that's a whole other animal. That's a whole other animal. I don't know. We never had to deal with that before. You're saying like if all of a sudden, I think what you're saying, and I'm better understanding is the P. Diddy scandal comes out, and all of a sudden you're finding out that your favorite stars were like, basically molesting children. Like how do you separate the artists from their art? I don't know. I gotta cross that bridge when I get there. I don't know. That's a great question. It's different than a political thing. It's like, okay, now you're doing something that I know is monstrous and selfish and harmful. And I know you're a monster, and you're still willfully doing it, which feels a lot worse than you just taking stupid politics and being an idiot. Yeah, that's hard. That's very tough. I mean, the only example I can think of with that is Roman Polanski. I'm sure there are others that I'm not thinking of all the top of my head, but he's not really a face you see there. If you saw like a really internationally famous star was at P. Diddy, you learn that there was, all sorts of videos of Celebrity X, who's like a mega star, a massive, huge star. I don't want to throw a name out because it's almost like besmirching them by throwing a name out in the context of this conversation. So I'm definitely not making this allegation about the name I'm about to say, but I'm saying is it's a Tom Cruise level star, okay? Tom Hanks level star. And you learn that person was attending these parties and abusing children in the way that they've allegedly been abused. Like, how do you ever watch them again without like basically being like, no, you're like, do we just burn their art? Do we set their art on fire so no one's ever watching this crap again because of who that person is? I don't know. I got to think about that one a long time. That's a tough one. That's much tougher than the question I was addressing. We're going to get a free sub to the following. Who knows? It may come. It may come. All right. Matt Skinner hit me with 20. I'm going to try and catch as many of these as I can. There's a lot of gifting here. God bless you. You guys are awesome. I can't thank you enough. Matt Skinner sends out Stephen H. brought in. The following people should be thanking Matt Skinner for their membership into the following. I got Stephen H. Hey, wait a second. I got Roy 89. Roy 89. Wait a second. That's so crazy. That is crazy. This guy, Roy How is that possible? Literally, he says, wish I can get a free sub. He sent that at 1:50 Eastern time. Wish I could get a free sub to the following. And these are given out randomly. When someone gifts, you just say, okay, I'm going to buy this many memberships. And then YouTube just boop, 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 boop. Whoever signs up that they're willing to, they'd like to receive a gift, they get a gift. The very next gifted, which my you guys, you supporters have been amazing in gifting in general, and tonight specific. Oh my God, it's craziness. But the very next gift came from Matt Skinner 3 minutes later at 1:53. And the second person gifted is this guy right here, Roar89. That is crazy. How did you do that, Roar? Welcome to the following, Roar. Welcome to the following. That's craziness. I don't understand. Give thanks. Look at that. God watching over you. You should be praying for world peace. You gotta be praying for something bigger. You gotta start praying for bigger stuff. Apparently, you got powerful connection to God or something. I don't know. That is insanity. I'm blown away by this. I can't even tell you. The second person, already 9. All right. Who else was brought in? Tracy 3, Kimberly Ashcroft, Chris Schaefer, Hot Pocket, Chicken Lord of Hawaii, HT, Michael Costa, Mel D, Christopher Howell, Private and Public, or Private and Public. All right. Lori Loves Montana, Twisted Puppet, 20th Century Fox, Brian Reynolds, Kimberly Fisher, Jody Valenta, Kelly Miller, Aquamarine, all of them gifted courtesy of Captain Bucking for Promotion, Matt Skinner. God bless you, Matt. God bless you, Matt. You've seen addicts describe their vices like this? Well, yeah. We all got vices. We all have vices. Next up was all right, and the next gift came courtesy of Anthony F with another 20. Dropping another horn there. Hopefully I got them. I'm gonna see if I got them. Following people should be thanking Anthony F for gifting them with membership to the following: King Bob, Lee Bart, Scott Campbell, LC Randall, Bonnie E, Last of Yahoo's Icosahedron, Truck and Bear, Kaz, Willie Nips, Chica Ninja. Paulie hit it. Dude's making it rain. Mags, Myths, and Legend, Karen Vaughn. You guys should all be thanking Anthony F for bringing you on in here. But wait, there's more. There's also Winks, Henry G, Cat the Lurker, Over the Top, Gruff Money, Jimmy Baker, and Carl Spackler. All of them brought into the following courtesy of Soldier of Providence. God bless you, brother. Thank you so very, very much. And then I had another one. My God. King Bob gifting a good Lawgic membership. I'm going to give you a horn for that one. I appreciate it. Look at that. Blowing the chauffeur there. I'm going to see if I can find who. King Bob took care of C Fox. C Fox, you can see the connection there between C Fox and King Bob. Bless you, King Bob. Appreciate that support. And then followed up by Matt Skinner with another friggin' 20. Rear Admiral? Is that a Rear Admiral? Rear. I was looking at Navy ranks. There's Rear Admiral lower half and Rear Admiral upper half. Oh, wait. Rear Admiral? Does that work for you? Does that work for you, Matt? You tell me if that works for you. Matt Skinner, bring him on in here, making it rain. Awesome, brother. God bless you. Who do we bring on in here? Let's see who he brought on in. Gotta scroll down a little bit. It's gonna jump on me. It's gonna jump on me, isn't it? Let's see if I can still get him. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I think these are the right 28. Got it. All right. Following people gifted courtesy of Matt Skinner's 2020. Count them. I'm going to give another one. Good Lawgic memberships. Nunya, Carrie Enfield, Mima McCheese, Kelly, Kat, PFU Andrew, Germified, Kelly Parker, Troy Sherman. All you should be expressing your gratitude to Captain Mac. Rear Admiral? Is it rear? I don't know. Bucking for promotion. Captain Bucking for promotion. Matt Skinner. As well as Finn and D, Miss Shorty, SoCal Patriots, the old Desperado, Smoking Cats, Phil C, Peanuts Nana, Jessica Marie, Ken Scheuerman, RM, and Hero Digger 777. All of them brought into the following courtesy of Matt Skinner. God bless you, Matt. Thank you so much. Those you were gifted, please express your gratitude for bringing you into the greatest, not at all cult type of cult. And remember that Joe is not the leader of the following. Just your host. I'm working my way now towards some of the comedy parts, some of the funnier things I found that I wanted to share with you all today, because otherwise, if I don't share funny stuff with you, I can't justify spending all day sitting here looking at my phone. How do I justify that? How would I ever justify that to Lady Lawgic? She'd be like, why aren't you working? And I'd be like, I am working. You were just watching funny videos. I know. So you don't share any funny videos. So that's why I got to share this with you. I got to share it with you. That's what we got to do. So, what do I have here? All right. They're not all funny. This one's pretty funny. This was almost, this one's too. Okay. All right. Okay. While you're sitting there gloating, you're sitting there excited, and people are like, no, you shouldn't gloat. Shouldn't be so excited. Shouldn't do that. I'm going to say, you're sitting there worrying about the left, that the left is crying. Not everyone on the left is crying. There's some folks like this woman here. She kept talking about how she quietly knows what's coming. She knows that Queen Kamala is going to come home soon. And then Kamala came out and dropped her video, again congratulating Trump and saying, we got to be strong and keep the fight up. While she's off in Hawaii with her $20 million worth of debt, and then dropping down to Hawaii, Waikiki, heading down to Hawaii, and here you go. You got this woman right here. The people that genuinely believe Kamala is vacationing in Hawaii the week of Thanksgiving. Oh, you think she's there vacationing? She is working behind the scenes. The plan is in motion. The Kraken, Kamala's Kraken, about to be unleashed. You're all going to see Kamala's Kraken. We're all going to see her Kraken. Her Kraken is going to be released. She's very excited. Look at that smile. She's smirking. I know. Oh, you suckers think that she's in Hawaii vacationing? Mm-mm-mm. The wheels are in motion. The wheels are in motion. Oh, that day is coming where Queen Kamala's coming home.
Who do you think you are? Bless your soul.
It's funny because as a female, like, look at the females compared to in right wing politics compared to like left wing, and like not only like in shape, super attractive.
This just rolled up
dress
next.
well. And then also we have to like actually be smart and know our shit because we're getting attacked 24/7. And then I'm just like, look at women on the left. Dear God. I mean, what country do you want to live in just visually at this point?
That might be gloating right there. That might be gloating right there. I don't know who that is, but that was pretty funny. All right. I can tell you now, this is not my type of humor. This is not my type of humor. This does come into my feed. But I think that for others, it is their type of humor. I'm just like, that's okay. And I never know, should I share something that I think others may think is funny, even if I don't think it's funny? So we'll test this out. I'm like, okay, this is cute. This is cute. Other people think it's hilarious. I recognize that. I'm trying to appeal to a broad culture of tastes. But
it's time to destroy America.
Here we go.
It's time to destroy America once and for all. Oh, damn. How'd I get on my knees? That's right, my pretties. You take your armies to the streets. Y'all create a crowd. Push back on all of them. And you tell them they ain't welcome. That's right. You do what I say. You're all under my control.
I will tell you, I didn't notice until just now how this could really be taken as kind of like a little racist. Not gonna kid you. I just realized that now, and I could get that. I get that. I'm gonna move that. We'll move to this part. Racist humor. I'm not gonna. And that really, I think that was kind of racist. I think that part was pretty racist.
Guild, the Democrat Guild, and in the name of the Democrat Guild, we wish to welcome you to Fake News Land. Hey, horsey, yeah? Do you have your magical knee pads on? Of course I got my magical knee pads on. I'd never leave home without them. That's good. That's real good. What's wrong with your voice? Oh, I just had a big bowl of Captain Crunch and it shredded the roof of my mouth. I had some Captain in my mouth earlier too. Enough! Go destroy America now! Now remember, Horty, if you ever want to leave Democrat land, just click your kneecaps together and say, "There's no place like Willie." There's no place like Willie.
Remember Horthy? That's pretty funny.
There is no place like Willie. Gosh damn it! The roof of my mouth hurts so bad right now. Stupid Captain Crunch. Now I'm really in a bad mood. It's time to destroy America once and for all. Oh damn! How'd I get on my knees? Well, look at what we have here. Hey, help! I got a stiffy and it won't go away. Damn, Joe! You always getting a stiffy.
All right, I didn't make it this far in. I did not make it this far in. I didn't make it this far in. I didn't make it this far in. I was just like, I didn't make it this far in. I didn't.
I squirt oil on him this time? No, I get to squirt oil on him. You always get to squirt oil on him. Girls, relax, all right? You both can squirt oil on me. And then later, I'll squirt oil on both of you. Squirt that oil on.
All right. Okay. We're gonna move on to the next one. I'm totally moving on to the next one. I am totally moving on to the next. Oh my gosh. I just went like whoosh. We were going down, we were like going down a road here, which I was like, all right, this is not exactly the yellow brick road I was looking for, but it's okay. And then just started branching, and then just all of a sudden, just like, whoop, and I'm, whoa, whoa, whoa. I know some of you are going to want to see it. I'll share the link. I'm going to put the link in locals right now. Speaking of local England, it says, Joe, this will kill any odor, any. Just remember, doors cut cords, and cut cords hurt. What? What did you give me?
Let's talk about ozone and why I regard.
That's a 25-minute video. I don't know what you want me to do with that. Let me put it. I'm going to put it in locals. I'm doing it now because I know some of you are going to want to watch the rest of it. So this is the we'll call it the parody. This is something that I give to. Like, all right, where are we at here? Okay, what else did I have for you? Oh, this was Trump's first day in office. This is more my speed.
You there? You, black woman. Are you serious? Spartans! How many genders?
We can't let this nonsense spread any further, Spartan. You have to put things straight.
I will literally.
You there? My choice. Dave, I'm sorry. There you go. There you go. I'm running through. I'm giving you the stuff that I found funny.
Okay, what's going on?
Doc, there's some kids in the pool.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. Let me guess.
This is so typical.
The kids in the pool are black.
Yes, they're black.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Kids that are black in your pool are not bothering you, lady. What are they doing?
They're drowning.
No! Black babies! No, black babies! Okay, what's going on?
I thought that was really funny. I don't know if that's old or not. It doesn't look very new. I never saw that before. I thought that was really spot on. That was really, really good. Black babies. I thought that was really good. Oh, that was really good. Oh, that was really good. If you found out the plumbing in your building was built by Como 100 years ago, you'd still flush the toilet. MJ is dead, so I don't cringe hearing his music. He was one talented creep. Okay. It's a fair point. It's a really good point. But what if he wasn't dead and he's making more product now? Although maybe they'll be drummed out. Maybe these folks will be drummed out of Hollywood. I don't know. My point is, stop worshiping artists. They have a trade. It's useful, but they're expressing things that exist in the world, not building the world. It's a fair point. I think in a certain way, movies are different from music in that regard. seeing them creates a certain revulsion. There's actually a phrase that's brought down in Talmud, which goes "Eina doma shmiya l're'iyah," which translates as literally, you cannot compare hearing to seeing. It's the precursor to a picture is worth 1,000 words. When you see something, it changes everything compared to hearing. Now, it's true that with most of this evidence that may come out, hopefully comes out on this Diddy thing, we'll only hear about the negative things that celebrity A, B, and C did. And maybe it's A, B, and C multiplied by several hundred people. And frankly, the more people that are involved, the less offense any of them will probably garner. If there's 2 people, 3 people who are become associated with the P. Diddy parties, they will become the lightning rod that everyone will focus on. If there's 150 people, it's just going to be like, well, that's a Hollywood thing. As Stalin said, you know, I don't know about the numbers precisely, but something to the effect of like 3 people are a tragedy, 3,000 is a statistic. So, because you can't, our brains are too limited to be able to really zone in on each individual when you have more than just a handful. So, but conceptually, if you hear about terribleness of someone, it's not the same as seeing them. And if you're upset with someone for something that they did, you develop being upset with them. It's very different when your interaction with them is just an audio type of thing that you're listening to a song of theirs versus watching them for 2 hours straight. It's a very different thing. It's a very different thing. But it's a fair point. And I agree with this point that they're not building a world. And certainly about historical stuff they did. Yeah, stuff they did. Drop Barracuda. Who'd you bring me? Who'd you bring me to? Not me, because it's not my following. I'm just the host. But who'd you bring us in? We all know I'm very much not the leader of the following. So. Oh, you brought in the mockeries. I like it. Mockeries, yo, Barracuda. You owe him big. This is like, I don't know how you're ever going to repay him, mockeries. I don't know how you're ever going to repay him. I don't know. At the very least, say thank you. At the very least. Matt Skinner hit me with this. Happy Thanksgiving, dear Leader. The best chat. Enjoy spending your time with families. Skinner out. God bless you, brother. Happy Thanksgiving. And thank you for your very, very generous support tonight and in general with this channel, and also and even more significant, your contributions to chat in general really enhance the show. So we appreciate you. Captain Matt. Bucking for promotion. Captain Matt. God bless, brother. Why to go Polo? Way to go, Matt Skinner. Indeed. There you go. Way to go. Way to go. Colonel is a captain in the Navy, a general officer. Oh, okay. I'm not worried about the left as much as the White House. The POTUS is being kept alive with heroic levels of speed, and the VP needs an intervention. What do you mean he needs an intervention? Why does he need an intervention? Oh, you mean the current White House? It's funny, when you were talking about POTUS, I literally was thinking Trump. Yeah, but it's been like that for like at least 2 years, if not more. I'm more worried about the fact that they're trying to drag us into World War III right now. But Greg Warner gifted 10. 10 good Lawgic memberships. Following people brought into the following courtesy of Greg Warner. Who'd you bring me? Who do you bring me to read off here? Who am I supposed to be reading off? The people wants to know. They wants to know. I could promote him to mod. He's not a mod. He's not. I should promote him to mod. I'll do that right now. I'll definitely give him a mod. How do I do that? How do I do that? Can't do it on a super chat. Oh, I can. I can promote him to mod. Yeah. All right. I should have done that before. Thank you for calling me out on that. All right. And oh wait, I was doing the Greg Warner's 10. I was doing Greg Warner's 10. Where was we? Scrolling. I was scrolling. Yes. Greg Warner. Oh, here we go. Following people gifted memberships courtesy of Greg Warner. Oh man, I missed a couple of them. But definitely I got Nancy Cooper. I also got Slow Mo Savage, Ashley King, Nicole G, Trina Wright, all of them gifted members in the membership in the following. If you were gifted courtesy of Greg Warner, I'm going to give him another horn because I missed a couple. Welcome to the following. As well as we got 5, and then I had Drop Harakuda send me this. Is that called a Rusty Trend? I don't know what that is. And then another 5 courtesy of Anthony F. Double horn for that. So we got 10. I got 10 here from Anthony. He brought in Doobie, Heliosphere, Jeff Trepto, Mihoville P, and Doug, all gifted courtesy of the Soldier of Providence, Anthony F, as well as who else did he bring in here? Sarah Barra, M.E., Chillaxin, Marie Antoinette, and Lori M. All of you, please express gratitude to Anthony, Soldier of Providence. Awesome. God bless you, brother. Thank you so very much. That was before Matt Skinner. Then he gave another 5. I'm going to come to that in a second. Oh, Como is child molested. Touch my camera through the fence. What? Okay. Now I know. I didn't know that. I actually do like, I have very much a sweet tooth. And I'll tell you that this is actually strawberry raspberry. Not that they... Strawberry raspberry. And it tastes like cotton candy. Not going to kid you. So many followers, yet the following remains Jeepless. A true shame. We're working there. We're working our way there. And then we have another 5 courtesy of Anthony. Just raining them down tonight. Raining them down. God bless you, Anthony. Thank you so very, very much. Who do you bring in here? Laura Chamberlain, Jennifer Bozala, Tina Folga, Kolf 2A, and Tim Liddy. All of them brought in courtesy of Anthony F. Welcome to the following. Welcome. It's Thanksgiving. So give thanks. Give thanks specifically to Soldier of Providence right here, Anthony F. God bless you, my brother. Thank you so very much. And please bear in mind that squirrel mutilations, do that on your own time because that's not part of the following. So if that's your thing, and I'm not promoting it at all, and I mean that seriously, because even though they're rodents, they are life forms. So yeah, definitely not part of the following, because the following is not at all a cult type of cult. I got a lot more I got a bunch more videos I need to share with y'all. I need to get to my videos. I need to get there. Where are we at? I gotta get rid of this off the screen. Okay. We here in the following are populists. And every once in a while, as populists standing up for the people, as the voice of the people, it's very, very important, critical that we speak out against massive corporate entities who are continually trying to take advantage of us, continually trying to abuse their power and position and their prestige to basically rape the finances of the public. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about big tech, big pharma, big finance. They're all trying to crush the little man. All of them trying to crush the little man. This is well known. And when their abuses are called into question, when the abuses are exposed, you're doing the public, you're doing them a service, you're doing a kindness. That is the type of thing that we here at the following program very, very much appreciate, because you're just basically making the world a richer place. The information enlightens us into appreciating the abuses that are happening, and there are a few massive industries out there which seem to just fly under the radar. They get away with their stuff. They get away with their abuse and their abuse of you, how they rip you off, destroy you completely, like just steal money out of your pocket, and they never get called out. So obviously there's one entity out there, one conglomeration out there which has really been taking advantage of you, me, your family, your parents, your cousins, your pets for way too long, and it's time for them to be called out. And this guy right here is calling them out. So tonight on the following program, on Thanksgiving, as we slide into Thanksgiving, we are publicly and officially calling out Big Zip Tie for how they continually just come after us. Big Zip Tie. This is for you, so you guys can appreciate the abuse by Big Zip Tie.
Here's something that Big Zip Tie doesn't want you to know. When you use a zip tie to hold something together, instead of cutting each individual one, you can take a pair of pliers like this and just squeeze onto the end of it and then give it a pull, and it'll come back apart again, so that you can actually reuse zip ties. Kind of like the rope in The Lord of the Rings that's given to Samwise.
See, they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know that you can reuse it. They don't want you. That's the secret. That's how they rip you up. That's how they get you. He's calling it out, and he's going to walk you through now exactly what this is like. The abuse of Big Zip Tie. The abuse of Big Zip Tie. He's going to walk you through exactly how you can use zip ties in ways that will make it much clearer just how wide and diverse and multifunctional, multi-purpose zip tie really could be.
The rings that's given to Samwise Gamgee by the Lady Galadriel, is he in the fatal? They reuse so that you can actually reuse zip ties. Kind of like the rope in The Lord of the Rings that's given to Samwise Gamgee by the Lady Galadriel as he and the Fellowship are leaving Lothlorien. It's made of hithlane, which is a fiber made from the Malorn trees that are found in Lothlorien, that he would take with him after he and Frodo broke from the Fellowship at the Lake of Nin Hithoel and rode across to begin their desperate scramble across the barren wasteland known as the Immin Mule, and help them traverse that landscape until they would later use that rope in the taming of Smeagol so that he could become their guide and help them across the Dead Marshes to the very Black Gate of Mordor itself. But I guess Sam didn't need pliers to undo his real elvish rope. But I still think that it's a cool little trick to know, and maybe it'll come in handy one day. So Yep.
That was amazing. Oh my God. That was amazing. That was amazing. Just how he literally was going there for like 40 seconds with we're just gonna say that. It's very much the same thing. It's very much the same thing like when Samwise Gamgee was given the ethereal rope from the Elvish Queen. Oh my God, I need to hear that again because some of you might have forgotten that moment in the movie. So
so that you can actually reuse zip ties. Kind of like the rope in The Lord of the Rings that's given to Samwise Gamgee by the Lady Galadriel as he and the Fellowship are leaving Lothlorien. It's made of hithlane, which is a fiber made from the Malorn trees that are found in Lothlorien, that he would take with him after he and Frodo broke from the Fellowship at the Lake of Ninhithuel and rode across to begin their desperate scramble across the barren wasteland known as the Immin Mule, and help them traverse that landscape until they would later use that rope in the taming of Smeagol so that he could become their guide and help them across the Dead Marshes to the very Black Gate of Mordor itself. But I guess Sam didn't need pliers to undo his real elvish rope. But I still think that it's a cool little trick.
Oh my God. That is. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was just amazing. That was amazing. You would think that someone like that would be a valuable asset who should basically, be advising captains of industry rather than, I don't know, living, it looks like in some bunker there. But yeah. I have no idea where this guy is. And I think that's the point. He's definitely off the grid. And he's got his private generators there generating his electricity. That was amazing. I just thought that guy was very impressive. All right. So now I'm an older man, so I kind of remember Madonna when she was in her heyday, and I'm astonished to know that she's still performing. And I hope I don't get copyright struck for this. This is her at a recent performance. How old is she? She's 70?
Who's having a good time? I am, baby. Oh my God. Why am I still up here? Why must I work so hard? Oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. I'm Madonna, and I love this attention, but also I'm very tired. Yeah. Ooh. Oh my gosh. I just want to watch a movie and eat some cookies and go to sleep.
I don't like the whole fart sound thing. To me, that actually, I almost like skipped it out. Like, I think it makes it worse. It's way better without that. But yeah. All right, let's get back into politics here, just for a moment.
You know what? Without speaking to you, I think I know you maybe almost as well as your wife.
We grew up in the same neighborhood, Relevant, France.
I have watched you for so many years. You're not a Kamala person.
Look at me.
You should do the same thing, Joe, because you cannot be voting for Kamala.
14 million votes, and they threw him out of office. And you know what? I'll give you a little secret. He hates her. He can't stand her.
Daddy, I'm in trouble.
Oh, that was cute. That one. I want to show that one with you because I thought that one was cute. This one, I don't know what's happening here. I'm gonna warn you. This is gonna sound a little racist. This may sound a little racist to some of y'all. So this one gets an R rating.
He said, hey, do you like Jews? I heard you don't like Jews. I said, I don't like nobody. Jews, niggers, Asians, blacks, whites, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, dogs, horses, fish, roaches, worms, butterflies, ants. Nigga, I don't like nothing. Nigga. He said, hey, do you like Jews?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yes, that was politics. That was politics. I don't know anyone else can get away with saying something like that. So what was that? I'm going to finish strong. Don't worry, I'm finishing strong. I'm finishing strong. All right, so apparently, what else? Vivek and Elon dropped this one. Just stop it. Just stop it. Plane is getting close to circling. Plane is getting close to circling.
Coming this spring to MXNBC, a groundbreaking series that will change the U.S. government and the world forever. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, under the direction of former star of The Apprentice, Donald Trump, will challenge 3 million contestants to carry their load or hit the road. That's right. We'll be asking every government employee to prove their value.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
Just like in a good old-fashioned meritocracy.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming in. What would you say it is that you do around here?
I mean, a lot of days I really do stuff. It's just there's not that much going on today.
A lot of days I really do stuff. I really do stuff. Here's a tip for you. If you're singing an interview, try to avoid using the same word like twice in a row. If you have to say it twice in a row, it probably doesn't sound like it's very convincing. So if you have to say I really do stuff instead of I really do stuff, yeah.
Around here.
I mean, a lot of days I really do stuff. It's just there's not that much going on today.
I helped Tanner and Blaze replace those heavy 5-gallon water containers.
Tune in each week as Elon and Vivek measure every federal employee's value and efficiency.
And time. So you're studying on how cocaine enhances the sex drive of Japanese quail. What's that worth to the American taxpayer?
I think it's priceless.
And get ready for the savings as those that don't make the cut get shown the door.
The president wants to tell you something.
Firstly, thank you for coming in today. And second, you're fired.
The Emmy Award-watching viewers of Deadwood and Idiocracy present Doge Days, the purge of the U.S. government.
I'm down with that. I'm down with that. I'm down with that. Hey, is there more?
There is a whole forest of dead wood out there. We got to get chopping, buddy.
Oh, there you go. And the last one here, I haven't seen it yet. I'm really screening this with you. I expect it to be good only because she does a pretty good job. This one here does a pretty good job. No, there you go. There you go. This woman does a pretty good job here. I think we're going to enjoy this one. I'm looking forward to this. I will 3-minute video. I have not yet seen it, but by and large, she does a pretty good job in sharing us with a peek inside Kamala's head. I will say to you all, eat turkey. And when you get that turkey, if it says cultivated, that's for they, them. It's not for you. It's not for you. And also, don't eat the bugs.
You to join me in welcoming our Vice President, Kamala Harris.
Thank you, Tim.
Make this a little louder.
Thank you, my seed biscuit brother.
That's a pretty funny reference.
You know, you have just been such an, extraordinary leader. And, we've become fast drinking friends, right? Who have been leading with so much grace and poise. You are just the definition of masculinity. Cut, time out. I mean, this isn't believable. Who wrote this? I know we have budget cuts, but who wrote this? Nah, you know what? Because I'm gonna improvise. I let y'all write everything else, and you fucked everything up for me. Get me an 8-ball. I'm doing this raw. Are we ready to roll? America, I wanted to get on here and tell you that I'm thankful. The fight is not over. The fight has just begun. You helped make all that happen. You are still in this call. You are still in this fight. As far as I'm concerned, you are still in this room. My campaign raised a historic $1.4 billion. And my campaign calculators told me that it was about an average of $56 a person. That's history. We made history. Fight is not over. Do you think our fight ended on November 5th? Do you think our fight ended on November 5th? That's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. A fight for freedom. A fight for
She does
inclusivity.
She does do the hand gestures.
DEI. A fight for all of it. One nation. Depending on what you believe in. Under, God or the other guy. That's why we're asking for a monthly subscription of $79.99 from now until 2028. It was worth a shot.
All right. Well, there you go. That's my show, and I'm sticking to it. I thank you all for joining me one last time. Wish you all a happy Thanksgiving.
Grizzly Reaper mowing.
Wish you all nothing but the best and wonderful times. I think I got a couple of chats here at the end that came in. Thank you, Joe. Wait, did I get these 5? I don't know. When did these come in? 2:38. I'm not sure if I got these 5. Did I get these 5? I think I got these 5. I did, right? There was 1, 2. Yeah, I did get those 5. All right, I did. If not, well, either way, I can give you an extra thank you. And I'm not gonna be able to dig them up, but thank you again, Anthony and Matt and Greg and all and King and both the King and Queen of recruitment, all you and anyone else, Drop Barracuda and others who dropped in here with your bringing people to following. It's nice to see that the family is coming home to roost for Thanksgiving. So many members of the following joining in here. God bless you all. Thank you so very much. And thank you, Joe, for everybody that supported getting rid of Merchan's gag order. Huge salute. Amen. Amen. Dummy doesn't know about the tab to release it. Yeah, that's I'm triggered by that hard show. A sentence to the doo-doo. Yeah. That's not Madonna. That was someone. Yeah. That's not Madonna. I don't know what the hell that was. And scarily more coherent. Work must continues. Work must continues. I do plan on doing a show tomorrow. Tomorrow night. Probably after you finish eating your Thanksgiving Day meal. I'll be working while I'm watching football. Those of you who are not playing me in fantasy football, I wish you the best of luck in that and in all your endeavors, and hope you have a phenomenal, enjoyable holiday. I thank you all. I'm on out of here. Have a good night, my friends. And as always, Godspeed. Oh, that was wrong order. As always, Godspeed. And as always, Godspeed. That was right. No, that was right.